And we are live. What do you mean we are live? I am live. Where is everybody tonight? Am I solo? Um, all in on high school sports / all in on NJIC football. Kurt Valenti backstage tonight. Jennifer Valenti. Jen, I just want to wish you a speedy recovery. You had a little procedure done, and you are still working, though. You're a trooper. You're still working tonight backstage, Jen, so welcome tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry to not be on screen, but just on the mend for about another week. So yeah, so I will be back before you know it, hopefully.
Well, hopefully you've been looking good. But we're just not solo tonight. There's Mr. Carson and a happy Carson. Not only did his Detroit Lions win last night, his Detroit Tigers took a 1-0 lead today over the Houston Astros. So what's up, Mr. Carson? But backstage we have our Voices of St. Mary's, Mr. Eli. What's going on?
How's it going, Kurt? Thanks for having me on again.
And Mr. Jack, are you in the room?
I am, Kurt. Great to be with you. Jen, keep getting better.
Thank you.
Keep feeling better. Yep, for sure.
There's Coach Breslin. What's up, Kurt? Hope all is okay, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Jen's tough. Jen will be back. But hey, you know what? Instead of her taking the night, I'm going to take the night off. You know what she said? I'm going to work. You know, first time, Jack and Eli, she said, I'm going to work this year.
Oh my God.
So, you know
let's not even joke around about that, please. That's not even...
Well, we heard a lot of stuff in the pre-show, so I wouldn't say too much.
Eli. Thank you, Eli.
Yeah, we had to work last night. There's our good friend Patrick saying aloha, my family. And Jen, real quick, I want you, before we get to our sponsor of our show, you know what? I want you to talk about Patrick and his coffee.
Oh my gosh. Well, Patrick is generous enough to share his, I don't want to get the coffee name incorrect. I don't have it in front of me, but it's Hawaiian coffee, Kona coffee. That is just absolutely delicious. I mean, we went to Hawaii, Kurt, last summer, and what did I bring back? Coffee, right?
Yep.
I brought back coffee every morning. It was one of my favorite things to do to get there. We had some, I'm a coffee person. So, Patrick, thank you. And, yeah, we got to throw up the, if he wants to put it in the comments, I don't want to misname the actual brand, but it is Kona coffee. So
yeah, Patrick, please put all your information up in the comments, Jen. We will get that on air next week. We'll get a little picture and stuff for him on the show, but please, Patrick, put that up in the comments. And Jen, if you want to talk about our sponsor, Reds, real quick.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Red's Restaurant and Beer Garden with locations in Carlstadt and Newark. I believe Oktoberfest is upon us. It is October 1st, right? So what better place to celebrate Oktoberfest than at a beer garden? So check out Red's in one of their 2 locations and the Roosevelt in East Rutherford as well. So thank you to them for their sponsorship.
We're getting a comment. I'm sorry, Jen.
No, go ahead.
Swinging for the fences is saying love coffee, and yep, Jen does too. And Mr. Calderio, I hope, by the way, Mark, you watched last week. We did take Fairlawn. They won again, still undefeated. But good evening, Kurt. Let's go, Knicks. This could be the year, buddy. Oh, I don't even know how you say it. Let's go.
Your lips to God's ears. I think that's where you were going.
That's it.
We were debating talking about that all mostly on Saturday's show when Kurt and I were there. I mean, because there was so much to talk about for that moment. I mean, huge.
I was up on Friday night, right? We're just hanging out watching TV. I'm like, Jen, we just traded for Karl Anthony Towns. No, Jen. But then I was like, oh, we gave up DiVincenzo. But we'll get into that tomorrow night. With Coach Breslin saying great stuff. Reds. Powsey family, a great family. Absolutely, Coach Breslin. Patrick saying Lion Coffee.
Lion, I was going to say, there we go.
Coffee. And there's the link. Please check this link. I'm telling you, I don't drink coffee, Jen. I don't really do the caffeine besides some chocolate here and there. But Jen's a coffee drinker and she absolutely loves it. So please check that out.
I do.
There's Kenny. Good evening, Jen, Eli, and Jack. And yes, Kurt, hello to you, my friend. Even though I just got the scheduled games a couple hours ago, LOL. All joking aside, the best high school sports show on earth. Let's go. What does he need 4 hours to research games for? He should know the end. He should know the teams by now. What's he got to go on?
You got to have some kind of information to go back
I
on.
mean, come on, come on.
Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Eli.
A little bit of a heads up would be great,
All that matters, Kurt's like, I got the games. What's it matter about everybody else?
Like, he's a star. That's the point. Just making sure the star's okay. Everybody else underneath him, who cares?
That's it. They're swinging for the fences. I'm going to have to try Reds. Yes, Jen. We went there about 3 weeks ago. We went after the St. Mary's Woodridge game. Oh, the food was good. Food was good.
Oh, so, definitely. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that.
Speedy recovery, Mrs. Valenti. Let's go Broncos. Let's go Pequannock. Hey, undefeated Pequannock.
Yep, undefeated Pequannock is right.
They got a big one this week.
Hey, Kurt, how about those Broncos?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about.
The Jets had only 3 field goals, though. Let's point that out.
You know what? This is a week. We got Karl Anthony Towns. We got the Knicks. We got the Broncos winning. I said, let's go.
We got the Colts winning, too.
Hey, you're better with Joe Flacco, but let's not get into that.
Whoa.
Thank you. At least somebody else mentioned that. Thank you. Yeah. You can talk about that a whole other show.
All right, Jen. So what's on here? We got 2 hours of high school football tonight. What is on this agenda tonight?
We do. Let me get through. In our first hour here, we are going to welcome Coach Gattuso of Ramapo football, and we'll obviously do our Week 5 picks. And then when we get into the 9 o'clock hour, which is our NJIC specific show, we have a full slate tonight. We are lucky enough to be welcoming Weehawken, Butler, and Pompton Lakes football programs tonight. So we're really excited to get going with that. Well, Coach Gattuso is actually ready to go, Kurt. So why don't we bring him on in so I can formally introduce him?
Absolutely.
Sound good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's get him in here. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Jen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You can hear us okay?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, Kurt? How are you?
What's up, Coach? How are you doing?
Good, man. Good to talk to you.
You too.
Well, let me formally introduce you. We are joined by Coach Nick Gattuso, first-year head coach of the Ramapo Raiders. His team competes in the Liberty Division of the Super Football Conference. So, Coach, thank you again for joining us. Really appreciate having you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Again, just like Jen said, Echo, thanks for coming on, Coach. Congrats on your first win last week, a big one on the road. 2-part. What did that win mean for you as your first win as head coach, and then to the team?
Look, obviously it was good to get in the win column. We've been coming up, just short, for the first couple of weeks, but the kids keep working at it. The coaches are doing a great job, and look, it was special to get the first one, but this is about our program. It's about our kids and our coaches. It's not about me. So this is about the kids, and everybody's doing a great job. And, we're just happy to come away, in the win column and hopefully get some good momentum going moving forward.
Coach, I'm going to come to you next. Kurt, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a little connection issues down here. So last year, you guys lost quarterback Landon DePrima to graduation. He had over 3,000 yards passing, led the team in rushing. You guys had another trio of seniors, right, that were big for you in rushing, receiving, James Burkirko, Jackson Cooney, Brandon Delval. Who stepped up for you offensively this season?
Yeah. So, there was a ton of talented players last year. A lot of them were playing college ball, playing at the next level. We return, 3 starters, from the group last year. And, right now we've got, Charlie Wingfield playing, Y for us. He's doing a great job. Casey Grusser's at quarterback. He's running it, he's throwing it. Sal Lavati as our slot, and he's only getting better every week. Our offensive line is starting to gel. Right now we have, we're splitting running back reps with Gino Gorga and Liam Hayward, and they're both doing a great job. Gino, had a kind of a breakout game on Saturday and ran for over 100 yards, had 2 catches for 36. He scored 3 touchdowns. And that was to go along with, 2 interceptions on defense and 5 tackles. So he had a great day on Saturday. So Michael Ballin is one of our outside receivers. He's got a couple nice catches and touchdowns for us. So, we're getting there. We're starting to gel, as a group, and the kids are picking up the system, and we're getting better. So we are improving.
That's great. And how, what, Kurt?
Go ahead, Jen.
No, I had I just wanted to follow up with Coach, about defensively. What players have emerged for you as leaders on that side of the ball?
So, we've had, like I said, we replaced a lot, of starters from the previous team. And, so like we've had, Zach Darwish is in the middle, at middle linebacker. Charlie Wingfield is outside backer. Tommy Arone also plays outside backer. We've got Connor Payne doing a great job at corner on the outside. Our safeties, like I said, I mentioned Gino. He's been in there. Gavin Campanzano, and we've got a defensive line rotation that's been doing really well lately with Harrison Kearney, Alex Cavaleros, Luke Gerba, Lucas Tragna. So these guys, we're rotating guys in, and they're making plays, and they're getting better. We got, a rotation going on of a lot of guys, and they're getting opportunities. So they're stepping up, they're gelling every week. We're getting better, we're improving. So, that's what the kids are doing. So,
Jen, I'm going to read a couple comments from Keith Brugman. It's a jam-packed night on All In on High School Sports. Yes, it is. Anthony Paterno's asking a question. We'll get that in the 9 o'clock hour, but he's asking, can St. Mary's play Rutherford in a crossover? No, because St. Mary's will be in the playoffs. Rutherford is not, but we'll get to that later. I'm going to go to 2 questions to Coach Gattuso from the audience. Number 1 from Swinging for the Fences. He's asking what it's like being a new coach, but obviously you're not a new coach. You were a head coach already. I'm going to change it up a little. What's it like being a first-year coach? Like being in a new school like you are, going from Demarest to Ramapo, being a first year. What's that transition like, or how's it been?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a unique situation for me, because obviously, I graduated here, I played here, and then I coached here for 13 years. So, being a part of the program and a part of it like that, and knowing kind of the ins and outs of things as an assistant, and learning and doing that. And then, transitioning over to Demarest, that was tough because, you have to try to learn everybody again. Like, any transition is not easy, right? You got to learn the new players, you got to build your staff, you got to, learn the ins and outs of the building and the administration. And, I had, a lot of great people at Demarest help me, but with that, and then, that opportunity did a lot for me, personally with growth, and gave me the opportunity to grow, as a coach and a professional. But, coming back to Ramapo, look, any transition, it's just like I said, you have to learn who the kids are. You have to learn, really get to know them. But it's about, really, to me, it's about establishing trust with your players. And that's what takes some time to develop and do. But, we've been really working at that, and the kids are just they show up and they work every day. We have great kids here. And, they're straining, and they're driving, and they're working every single day to be the best players that they can be. And, the kids are just getting better every day. So it's like, we're in the middle of this process, and we're grinding on it, and, we're enjoying it. We obviously, started, with 3 close games in the beginning. We wish we could have turned around the outcome, but, we're in the win column, and we're hopefully, just trying to build off that momentum.
Another comment from Jen. One more. Let me get to this one. Coach, a question, please. What have the kids taught you in your first year at Ramapo?
That's a good one. What have the kids taught me? Look, the kids taught me, they continue to teach me something new every day. but, I think that, some things that they've taught me is that, look, everybody wants to be great, and then they want to be as good as they can be, and they want, they want to be successful, but it's how you get there and how everybody's coming together to work together in order to get to that point. So they've taught me that, some kids, the standard is the standard, and you try to define that. But they've taught me so far that everybody's got to get there a little differently. Some guys you can really get on and coach hard, and other guys, need a little more, arm around them and explaining why we're doing it and what we're doing. But, look, they've, like I said, these are great kids, and they come to work every day, and we're working hard to be the best program that we could be.
Coach, I want to kind of piggyback off of what you were talking about a little bit with your coaching experience. As you said, not only did you go through the program, right? You then were an assistant at the program, and then I wanted to kind of ask you a two-part question. How important do you think, looking back, not that you knew it was going to play out this way, but are you glad you had that 2 years as a head coach to come back now and be a head coach here? And then also, how do you know, having such a part of this program, ingrained in you, how do you now put a stamp on it of your own?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jen. Look, the opportunity at Demarest 2 years ago was a great opportunity for me. Personally, obviously going through, a very difficult situation with Coach Gibbs passing away and having that happen. And then, being involved in, in the process here, and then, things, kind of sorted their ways out, themselves out. And then, the Demarest opportunity presented itself. And, look, as an athlete, you always want to say, hey, can I do it? Right? Can I compete at the highest level? Can I get it done? And, I was fortunate to be a part of some very great teams, and, in high school and in college. And I was just, I just always worked as hard to be the best, player and teammate that I could be there. And then, I carried that over into my coaching, career. And as an assistant, you work your way up, and you learn. And, I've had great mentors, and guys that have taught me. I mean, I'd argue that, Coach Gibbs is probably the best guy to do it, in my opinion. As a high school coach, and he taught me so much. And, I wanted to carry that on and wanted to see if I could do it, myself, and accept that challenge. And, I had great coaches that came with me and helped me out at Demarest. And, we were coaching together. We did great things, trying to get that program help to turn around. But, there's also, when you go to a new place and you have the transition, and you have that, you're getting to know a new culture, a new town, a new, group of kids. It takes time to establish those things and get that done. But you're also the guy wearing the hat, and then that really, those 2 years really taught me that, look, I can lean back on, the training that I had and the example that I had, and just say, hey, look, now you got to live with the call on, 4th and 1 that we went for, we didn't get it, or we did score and it worked out. Now you got to do all the things, administratively, that, as an assistant, you never had to handle before. So the experience in managing both, players and assistant coaches and administration, and then, being able to go out there and coach and have those different challenges, I feel like I grew immensely, and it really helped me out, to advance my career. And the fact that, you want to see if you could do it. And, I was fortunate enough to have great administration and great coaches around me to help me out. And, Demarest is 4-0 right now. And I'm really proud of those guys, and really proud of, the effort that those kids are putting in and those coaches are doing. And, there's still a lot of my friends that are there, and I'm really proud of those kids. And, it sees, you just see that, we redid the weight room, we redid the equipment room, we tried to redefine the standard there and get that done. And, the kids really bought into it. So I could not be happier for their success right now. I hope that they keep it rolling. And, I mean, I had the opportunity to come back to Ramapo, and, like this is home for me. I live down the road. Playing here, coaching here, being a part of this program, in my opinion, it's a phenomenal program. Not only for, the people and the kids make this program, right? So like being able to pass down and try to, like I had great coaching, I had great examples, I had great guys that I played with, that are still my real good friends. I had great guys that I coached with that we're friends with, but more importantly, those values that we were taught as players, and we were, we've tried to pass those on as an assistant coach, and I've tried to pass them on as a head coach now. So that's where I'm at.
Very nice. Thank you, Coach.
Coach, you talked about being a player, and you were a tremendous player at Ramapo, won state championships, and
I don't know about tremendous, Kurt.
You were good. Listen, hey, you know what? I'll
guy.
tell you this: you're an offensive lineman, and you know what? And for all the the glory, the quarterbacks, where that game is won, Coach. Where's that game always won? Up front. Am I right or am I wrong? And you know what? You were a tremendous player up there, and you had, we had a lot of success on. I was only there 3 years, and then you're there 4 years, and then like you said, you're an assistant for 13 years. But and you just mentioned about being one of the better programs. I mean, you guys are possibly, you're one of the best programs in the state overall, but public school, you guys might be the best public school in New Jersey. So my question is, year in, year out, sectional final, state champions, you guys are always there. What keeps that tradition going? Like, why is that program, are you guys always, like, year in, year out, Ramapo football so successful?
I think it has a couple things to do with, look, we have 3 communities here that, have great rec programs, and we have communities that, like the kids are involved in sports from the time that they are, very young. To the rec programs are phenomenal. And they do a great job, teaching the kids how to love football and how to love the game and everything that goes with it. And, then by the time, they get to us, we're just trying to do everything we can, to, again, I talked about Coach Gibbs having such an influence on, on everything that we did. And being a player for him in, 2001 when he first came here, and then coaching with him for so long, getting the kids to stay home and to come to Ramapo is a big deal. And then having them here and developing them, right? We're a 12-month-a-year program, and the fact that we are always lifting, running, training, doing something that is going to make us a better, football program. So, the consistency really starts with the fact that the kids love the game. They're coachable, and, they work really, really hard at it. And, we always try to develop, our kids the best that we can. So, as coaches, we put a lot of time into the organization and into, the off-season training. And, then we make sure that in season, everything has a system, and, those systems are in place, and the blueprint is in place to, to continue to develop that. And the year in and year out, kids do it. But, again, we do have a standard around here. We have, our goal every year is to win a state championship. And, that really only happens, right, with constant development from your freshman team to your JV team to the kids that, are either program kids and maybe they didn't have a chance to start until a senior year, but then they put all their time in and they've done that. But we develop kids, and we try to do the best that we can there. And with that, we have a tremendous community and support from the administration to, everybody in town coming to games. Like, it's a big deal, and it's important here. So, we try to be consistent with our preparation and, with our development. But, this is really a player driven team and community, in the fact that, people move back to the community for their kids to have the chance to play and to do that. And, it's a special tradition that goes back to the 70s, but, we just try to be consistent. And like I said, 12 months out of the year, we're trying to develop our kids to make them the best players that they can be.
Coach, my next question for you is actually going to be about the Ramapo community, and you kind of hit on that a little bit, and how important it is, and how, I guess the town just kind of rallies behind you guys, right? I mean, I'm looking at your schedule, right, and home games. I know every game is important, but is talk about maybe like an atmosphere for like a Northern Highlands home game this season. Like, what's that atmosphere going to be like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's it's electric. It's a lot of fun. I've been, in the program for, like I said, for a while. So we've had battles with Wayne Hills in the NBIL days. And after that, we've had, tremendous atmospheres with, Riverdale. In the past few years, it's been, the wars that we've had with Northern Highlands have just been incredible. I mean, they're a great program. Coach Cord does a great job with those guys every year. So that'll be a lot of fun. But look, when you're looking at our schedule, every single game is against a tremendous opponent, against a tremendous, like we went up to Somers to start, the defending, they're the 2-time defending New York State champs. What a great atmosphere it was there. We came up just short, but, kids fought hard, and we're where we needed to be. Then we got, our home opener against Ridgewood. Place was electric. It was it's a great atmosphere. You got, everybody's there. You got kids wearing their jerseys that, little kids wearing their jerseys that want to, give us high fives on the way up and down the ramp to the field. To, the stands are packed. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great football community. And we're working hard to uphold our standard and to get us where we need to be.
Coach, my last one, and you mentioned him before, and that's obviously Coach Gibbs. And I had the honor to work under Coach Gibbs for a couple years, and I've said this on the show, right, Jen? You be my witness that listen, there's a lot of great head coaches in New Jersey and stuff like that, but he was the best, man. I mean, he was, and as great as he was as a head coach, just as like an offensive mind, and as an offensive person, it's just like the stuff you learn from Coach Gibbs is like, oh my God. I remember like sitting in a room and him just putting up a play saying, we're going to run this, start practicing. And, and when you got Wayne Hills in 4 weeks, this will be a touchdown on the first series. And you're sitting there and you're like, first series, there it is. It's and you're just like, I mean, this guy knows everything, but just an unbelievable coach. And my question is like, how much is like influence, like still, I'll say offensively, for you guys that, you still take a lot of the stuff, and obviously you're going to mix your own stuff, but a lot of the stuff that Coach Gibbs did and always had for all those years, how much is that still with you guys?
I think that, when you talk about, like from the days that I played to, when I came back here in 2009 as an assistant, like we were running a similar offense to when I played to then when, we first started coaching, and the fact that it was still, it was pro style. And then we had, a spread, package in there, and it depended on what we had, if we could, block it up front, or if we could, throw it around, whatever we needed to do to be successful, coach was going to figure it out. And he did. And then, in 2012, we went to an up tempo, spread style offense. And, that's where, the genesis of a lot of the stuff that we do is still there. But, more so like, if you think about it, Coach Gibbs coached in the wing T offense for a long time. He coached in a pro style offense, and then he coached in the spread offense. And, you know, it didn't really matter what scheme he was running as long as he believed in it. And like the things that, you know, you could take from that is the fact that if you have the practice organization, the fact that, you know, you have a system for everything that you do, offense, defense, special teams, and that, you know, your practices are organized in a way where, you know, Monday practice looks the same thing. Tuesday, it looks like the same thing with, you know, little tweaks here and there. You know, Wednesday looks the same. Thursday, when we're walking through ready to go, we cover different situations we didn't get to during the week. And then, you know, Friday is game day. And then Saturday we make the corrections and we're right back to it. So, you know, I mean, the system is definitely influenced by him a ton, and, you know, but more so the way that he organized things, taught things. And, you know, like I mentioned before, I mentioned the blueprint, like, you know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Obviously the success that, you know, that he had as a head coach and we had as a program, you know, for a long time was due to the fact that we're organized, we're planned, we're, you know, following, you know, the things that, you know, that he laid out. But, you know, look, we don't have to veer too far from that stuff to go back and say, look, if we're organized like this and we can do that, sure, there's going to be some tweaks here and there, but, you know, the reality of it is that, you know, it's like the old thing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right. So, you know, I mean, his influence is felt, you know, every single day. And, you know, we're just, you know, I'm trying to do the best that, you know, I can to, you know, just carry on the tradition and the things that he taught us as players and as coaches. And, you know, we're doing the best that we can with that. And, you know, we will continue to work at it every day, just like he did. And he, you know, like I said, he gave us the blueprint. So we're following that.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time. We're so thankful for, you know, our guests who come on mid-season, you know, late at night. We know how busy you are. You have a family as well, so we really want to thank you and wish you the best, not only this season but beyond. You know, in your first year and beyond. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you very much, Jen. Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate it, guys. Hopefully, I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Absolutely.
Sounds
Coach
good.
Breslin's just chiming in saying, great job, Coach. So Coach Breslin approves. There you go.
Thank you.
Good seeing
Good
you,
night, Coach.
All right. Good night.
All right, Jen. So, again, quick thoughts. And again, obviously, I know Nick Gattuso, he was a phenomenal player at Ramapo. He didn't want to take some credit, but he was a very good lineman there. Won a state championship there as a player, as a coach. And, you know, you always know I talk about that program and just listen, all their sports, but football, when we talk about football, one of the premier programs in New Jersey. And, you know, I wasn't joking when I'm like, every year it's, hey, like he just said, state championships and sectional finals and division championships.
You know, he's lived it as a player. He's lived it as an assistant coach. He's lived it as a community member. And I love how he said, you know, that, you know, yes, you can talk X's and O's, and I know you listen. I know how highly you speak of Coach Gibbs and his knowledge of the game.
Yep.
But what was also instilled in Coach Gattuso was, you know, the art of preparation and how to run a practice, like, you know, how the youth program is involved. You know, like
Very
all of those
important.
things. The blueprint. You know, how to keep those kids home. You know, there's a lot of factors that go in, and you know, I thought he spoke so eloquently to all of it. So, you know, we really wish him the best in his beginning stages. Again, just getting started.
Coach Breslin saying best drop defensive lineman, Nick Gattuso. And our good friend Clayton here and saying, hey guys, smash that like button and share. What's up, Clayton?
Hey, Clayton, thanks for watching.
Yeah. So no, what a great interview. I mean, you know, he's phenomenal. And listen, he's going to do tremendous over there. I mean,
Yep,
you know,
100%.
he has that Ramapo in him, and we always say like not a better guy for the job. And you know, I think we you know, we feel like that with Coach Gattuso. You know, he's got that Ramapo blood in him. He loves it there. You know, he feels like he says it's home, and you know, he knows the standard. He knows and listen. he's going to do a tremendous job at Ramapo. I can guarantee.
Yep, 100%, 100%. All right, do you want to move on to our I didn't know if you wanted to do anything with week 4. Do you have any quick hitters for me, or do you not want to you want to move right into week 5?
We watched a couple of games. I watched I got to tell you, that Bergen Bosco game on Sunday was on Saturday was a tremendous tremendous game. Again, thoughts and prayers with the Don Bosco quarterback. He got injured, ugly play. Hopefully he is okay. But hey, Don Bosco, listen, Don Bosco had the ball less than 3 minutes left in the game, on the going in, and I had a shot to beat them. So they were right there, and just a tremendous game. But hey, Bergen holds on, and now DePaul gets Bosco. We'll get into that. Other quick hitters, Jen. Surprised that Caldwell got their first win. Oh, I think we lost Jen. I'm not sure if Jen is back, but I will answer that. Caldwell, I think we all did pick them. A bunch of us picked them against Waldwick. So Caldwell gets their first.
I'm back.
Did
you lose me? Yeah.
Yes, I did. I was saying, my quick hitter, a couple quick hitters. Caldwell, are you surprised they got their first win last week over Wayne Hills, or expected?
No, I had picked them, as did you and Kenny. I don't think I was surprised. I feel like, it was needed to happen for them. And I thought that was the prime time for it to happen then at them, against a Wayne Hills team that's playing well. So that's a good win for them.
Eddie Murphy, you're a good friend. Good evening, Jen and Kurt. What's up, Eddie? Next one, Jen, Northern Highlands. Northern Highlands, again, quarterback issues. Quarterback got hurt 2 weeks ago. Loses a tough one to Union City. Would you say a little concern going forward, especially if he doesn't come back?
Well, listen, in all fairness, what team wants to lose any starter, let alone their starting quarterback, right? And then you always have somebody obviously ready to go, but you got to give that kid time to acclimate as well. And then it's also about how that team reacts when you lose a key player like that, right? You have to give the team time to adjust as well, so I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't know if we can jump and say that, that was a tough game for them for sure.
Clayton saying Lake Mills High School 6-0, baby. So he's throwing some of his schools out. And
nice.
My next one, then, DePaul just keeps rolling and put up a lot of points. We're going to get into what they did in our picks and stuff like that. But hey, put it on Paramus Catholic, set a tone not only for this regular season. Remember, Paramus Catholic now is a parochial B, so that could be a rematch later on. But, DePaul gets their first crack at the big boy this week. They go to Don Bosco this week. So I guess my question is DePaul really making a statement in this game this week saying, listen, we could be one of the top 2, 3, maybe the best. I mean, they're going to, I don't know if they play Bergen. I don't think they do, but we can compete for one of these top 2 or 3 teams in the state this year.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think, we had talked about Paramus Catholic. They were going to be able to score, right? But were they going to be able to stop DePaul? And DePaul, as you said, put up 55 points. DePaul, I mean, and Bosco with a great showing against Bergen. Now we get a little measuring stick with how DePaul does against Bosco. It's that's going to be another good game. I mean, just week in and week out with those non-public teams, it's just grueling.
Jen, I got one more for you about that. But I guess, Mike, I asked you the wrong way. Do you think like it's another regular game, or is it more of like, hey, we're parochial B? Again, this might be.
Are you talking about the DePaul Paramus Catholic?
Yeah, no, the DePaul Don Bosco. Now I'm saying for DePaul, is it just another regular game? Is it hey, it's on your schedule, or is it a little more because again, they're parochial B. They've always kind of when you put those teams there, is it a little more for them of like, hey,
I think it always is.
We want to show that we're as good as those top parochial teams.
We've had Coach Campanelli on the show a couple times, and I think every game like that is for them. Like they do. Like that's that's something they do want to show, that they're going up against the non-public A's. And I definitely do. Again, you could give the answer of like, week by week, every opponent we treat the same way. We're just focusing on that opponent. But when it boils down to it, like it's those games are huge every week.
Yep. Jen, real quick before we get to our picks, you know what? We have Eli and Jack in the back, and I want to get like a 30-second. Just like, I want their thoughts on Coach Gattuso and what they've heard from the Ramapo program. So, Eli, give me a couple of thoughts. What you thought with the interview, and what you think of Ramapo and Coach Gattuso.
Well, I thought number one, he spoke on top and very highly, and I was very impressed with that. And although the record stands at 1-3, I am very impressed on what he has done so far and what he said and what he's going to bring to the future of this program. And I think this year might not be the best, but next year will be even better. And I'm proud of everything he said, and I think it was absolutely phenomenal.
Jack, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with Eli said. Rambo's been, consistently the last few years one of the best teams in the state. Bit of a transition year this year, but I think Coach has done a good job with that. And I think Ramapo will be back on top sooner rather than later.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right, Jen, I just wanted to get their input a little bit.
Yeah, love it. I think, Jack, he almost called you the Jack before.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I want to. You know what?
Not Jack.
I got to do it with Eli. I'm so used to doing it with you, Jen, just making sure you guys are paying attention, Jen. Like how I got to make sure you pay attention. I got to make sure they're paying attention. But they're on the ball, so we're all.
Yeah, we're paying attention. Don't worry.
All right.
Let me put up.
No, I'm joking.
Yep, we're paying attention.
You guys are catching the irony, right? The one who we need to keep on track of is Kurt. Yeah. So
yeah, okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, making sure he's paying attention and knows what he's writing about.
Absolutely, Jen. You're on the spot there.
Standings don't lie. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, again, when you get it 5 weeks in advance and not 4 hours before.
Let's go. All right.
Exactly. Yeah. Picks the games, doesn't give anybody the games. Yeah. Okay.
Gets the records
here's our
wrong.
pick'em standing.
There we go, guys. Jack, there it is again. My name and the number. What number is to the left of my name, Jack?
Number
I can't
one.
see that. Number 1. I can't see that. Okay.
But Jen's only 3 games
3
behind
points
though.
out. I was just going to say that. 3 points out. 3 games out.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna chip away. That's
Kenny's
always one of my favorite.
Kenny's in last place. So sorry.
Well, I mean, Jack, that's like saying
When you get the games 4 hours before, it makes sense. I mean,
guys, listen, man.
Exactly.
Is the sun gonna come up tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, right. The sun's is Kenny in last place? Yes. There's no difference in that.
Wow.
Well, the difference is you got the games weeks in advance. He got it 4 hours before the show. That's the difference.
But Kenny acts like I'm like the commissioner making the games. He can go online and look at the games. Like I'm writing them down from it. He wants me to do all his work for him. Go find them.
Oh my God!
You are the producer and the co-host of the show. I mean, of course.
Exactly. You pick the games. There's how many games in the state of New Jersey?
Well, you know what,
14.
Jen, I want to correct these guys. They just said I'm the producer. Technically, they're the producers, Jack and Eli. Maybe they'll be doing picks going forward.
Hey, I like making picks. I'll make picks.
Absolutely.
He's a delegator, guys. He's a delegator.
I have not noticed.
Delegator of responsibilities.
All right, Jen, what we got for this week?
All right, guys. Let's Kurt, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I do.
I just want to make sure. I'm going to throw up the games here.
Do you want me to do it, Jen?
We'll be with you in a moment, folks.
Yeah, Jen's
bye.
going to be moving after this show to upstairs. All right, I'm going to put it in.
Okay.
All right, so here we
go.
All right, so first game this week. Jen, if you are with us, just let me know when you are back. First game this week, I am going to go to Kenny's picks. Jack, you will be reading Kenny's pick. We got 5-0 Cedar Grove at 1-3 Caldwell.
Well, even though Cedar Grove is undefeated and Caldwell's 1-3, this is a close one for Kenny. He has Cedar Grove 26-22, and since you guys have asked me to make picks, I'll start making picks too if you guys don't mind. I'll go with Cedar Grove here in this game.
All right. Eli, you are taking Jen's picks tonight, correct?
Okay, yes, that's right. Jen has Cedar Grove, and I'm also going to take Cedar Grove in the victory this weekend.
All right. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. Caldwell might be 1-3, but they're just like Ramapo, a very good 1-3. Okay, they're at home. This is a little bit of a rivalry here. I'm going to go Cedar Grove, but I would not be surprised if this game is very close come fourth quarter. But I will
Totally
take Cedar
agree.
Grove.
Totally agree.
All right, second game. We are going 2-2 Bayonne at 2-3 Clifton. Jack, what does Kenny got?
This is a tough one, but Kenny's going to take Bayonne to win on the road 21-14. As for my pick, I'm going to take Bayonne as well to win.
Eli for Jen?
All right, Jen has Clifton in the victory, and I'm also going to take Clifton in this victory as well.
Yeah, I am too. Clifton at home on a Friday night in that stadium. I think it's going to be low scoring, and I will go Clifton over Bayonne. Game number 3, 2-3 Hackensack at 4-1 Ridgewood. Ridgewood coming off their first loss against PCTI. Jack, what does Kenny have?
Kenny's going to take Ridgewood here, 34-23, and that is also my pick.
Yeah, Jen has Ridgewood in the victory here, and the record doesn't lie. Give me Ridgewood in that victory as well.
Yeah, Ridgewood's running game has to get back on track. They shut him down PCTI last week. I think Ridgewood's running game and their defense led by Nick Brigliadoro, the kids all over the field. I'm going to take Ridgewood also. Next game, 3-2 Lakeland at 4-1 Westwood. I'm sorry, 4-1 West Milford.
Oh, West Milford. Well, speaking of Milford, we've got a big one when we get to our NJIC show containing the word Milford. But for this West Milford game, Kenny's taking West Milford 33-20, and at home, I'm also going to take West Milford.
Jen is also taking West Milford, and so am I. I'm also going to take West Milford in the victory over Lakeland.
I will sweep the board with you. I think West Milford goes to 5-1. Next game, we have a big one. This is Jen's country. West Morris Knowles 4-0, Mount Olive 3-1.
Kenny has Mount Olive snapping Morris Knowles' undefeated winning streak. Mount Olive takes it 23-21. As for my pick, I'm going to disagree with Kenny. I'm taking Morris Knowles here.
Yeah, Jen has Mount Olive in the victory, but I'm taking Morris Knowles as well as for the victory here.
I'm going to go Mount Olive. I think they get it done in a shootout. I'm going to take Mount Olive to end Morris Knowles' undefeated season. We have 3-2 Northern Highlands at 5-0 Old Tappan.
Kenny has Old Tappan here winning 34-24. Statement game for Old Tappan. As for my pick, this might surprise you guys. I'm actually going to take Northern Highlands to upset here on the road. Maybe my upset of the week here for the North Jersey games.
All right, Jen also has Old Tappan, and I also will take them as well.
I think a lot of quarterback questions for Northern Highlands, right? Is Johnson going to play? I think Old Tappan is one of the teams. I was telling Jen the other day, a lot of people kind of, listen, they're a great program, but they overlook them when it's like best teams in the state. Like every year in, year out, Coach Dunn has done a phenomenal job. I think the combination of Rossi and Arecchio is going to be too much. Again, I think very highly of Coach Corey, but I think I'm going to go with Old Tappan to stay undefeated. Next game, St. Thomas Aquinas goes to Paramus Catholic.
Kenny, this is his first upset of the week. Paramus Catholic wins 35-27. I, however, am going to go ahead and take St. Thomas Aquinas in this one.
St. Thomas Aquinas for Jen, and so as me. I don't think Paramus can stop St. Thomas this weekend.
Yeah, you just made a great point, Eli. St. Thomas Aquinas 4 wins in a row. Paramus Catholic, they gave up a ton of points the last 2 games to St. Joe's and DePaul. I got to see Paramus Catholic do it defensively. I agree with you. I'm going St. Thomas Aquinas. Undefeated. This is what a great game this is. PCTI against Coach Gattuso's Ramapo Raiders. What do you got, Jack?
This is a tough one. Kenny's going with PCTI 33-28, and I am also going with PCTI here in this one.
Let it be another sweep. Jen has PCTI, and I'm also taking PCTI.
Ramapo, so many close losses to so many of these like great schools, right? It's close, right? And they, have they learned last week, right? Have they learned how to win last week? But PCTI, they just win. I think their defense is going to be the difference. I hope I'm wrong because I'm a Ramapo guy. I hope I'm wrong, and I'll give up this pick. But I'm going to go PCTI in this one. Next game, we have Seton Hall Prep at St. Peter's Prep. Both teams are 2-3.
This is a tough one as well. By the way, the swinging for the fences person in the group chat, that's our friend George, voice of Seton Hall Prep. So getting in the chat room. I'm not sure if he's still here, but he might want to cover his ears for this one. Kenny's taking St. Peter's Prep to win 21-15, and I'm also taking St. Peter's Prep in this one.
George, cover your ears because both Jen and I have St. Peter's Prep in the victory.
So do I. I think St. Peter's Prep wants to make this a track meet, and I think they do score a lot. I don't know if St. Peter's or Seton Hall Prep can hold up. I'm going to go St. Peter's Prep also. Next game, we have 2 and 3 Montclair. There's Coach Breslin. Glad I went for my potato chips, everyone. I'm doing the other theory, Coach Breslin. I hope I'm wrong. But that was my line last week. Remember, guys, when I said, I hope he went for potato chips so he doesn't hear our picks? So I hope he didn't hear our picks. We got 2 and 3 Montclair, 3 and 1 Union City. Jack.
Kenny's got Union City winning it 22-14 on the roof. As we know, Union City, they play on a roof. I am also going to go ahead and take Union City in this one.
Yeah, Union City is going to take the victory here. Both Jen and I had them as well.
Yeah, just like you said, it is so tough to win in that building. I'm saying in the building, on top of the building.
It's red. You're not lying. It's in the building, literally.
Yeah, in the building, wherever you want to call it, but I'm going Union City too. Next game, Westwood 4-1 at Weehawken 3-2.
Both Kenny and I are going to take Westwood here. Kenny's got 31-24.
Another sweep. Both Westwood for both Jen and I.
I think two explosive offenses that like to score points, but I think the Westwood defense is better. I think that's the difference. I'm going to go Westwood. We have 3-1 Passaic Valley at 4-1 West Essex.
Well, I think I know what Jen's pick is going to be, but we'll wait to hear that one. Kenny's got West Essex here 2017. I'm going to take a bit of a different route, though. I'm going to take PV here to win this game.
Both Jen and I have West Essex in the victory.
I'm going West Essex too. I think it's going to be a great defensive battle, but I think West Essex at home gets it done. Next one. And you talk about a rivalry, you talk about a game. Everybody in Wayne is going to be, you want to drive around Wayne? The roads are going to be open. Why? Because everyone's going to be at this game. Wayne Hills 4-1. I'm sorry, Wayne Valley 4-1. 3-2 Wayne Hills. The Battle of Wayne. Jack, what do we got for our picks?
Before I make the pick, isn't DePaul also in Wayne?
They are.
Wow, what a football town that is.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, this is going to be a great one. Kenny's going with Wayne Valley here on the road. Battle of Wayne goes to Valley 24-22. I, however, am going to ride with the hometown Wayne Hills to win this game.
And I got to tell you guys, I witnessed when I was coaching at Ramapo, there was a state semifinal game, Wayne Valley at Wayne Hills. I mean, I can't even tell you how this game was. I'm serious, like 90% of Wayne, and Wayne's a big town, was there.
Sounds like they need to play at MetLife Stadium, and that's why both Jen and I have Wayne Valley in the victory this weekend.
I'm with you guys. I'm going Wayne Valley.
I'm lone wolfing a lot here. So
I think this is going to be, again, a close defensive battle. I'm going to take Coach Cutlars to get the tough road win. The tough road win. I'm going to take Wayne Valley. And our game of the week, 5-0 DePaul at 2-2 Don Bosco Prep. Again, Don Bosco Prep coming off a tremendous effort at Bergen Catholic. Had a chance to win that game. Now they're home and they take on one of the hottest, most talented teams in the state of New Jersey, DePaul.
Kenny's going with Don Bosco here in the upset, 27-24. I'm going to take a bit of a different route, though. I'm going with DePaul. They could score a ton of points. I think they're going to score early and often. I think they're going to get a big win here on the road, a massive road win for the Spartans.
Jen agrees with you, Jack. It has DePaul, but I'm taking Don Bosco in a victory, and hopefully they'll get to 3-2.
Woo! All right. Don Bosco gave its all versus Bosco last week. I'm sorry. Don Bosco gave its all versus Bergen last week. Again, just came up short. Now in comes DePaul. And you just talked about a lot of points, right, Jack?
Yes, they did.
Here's what they did this year, point-wise. 47, 28, 36, 34, and 55.
Wow.
We're gonna see how good DePaul is this week. And you know what? They're damn good. And I'm taking them on the road. I think DePaul makes a statement that, you know what? Hey, they're coming for one of the top picks, top rankings in the state of New Jersey. Kenny's saying great pick, Eli. I'm going DePaul. All right, guys, that wraps up show number 1. But we're not done. We're just starting. We're going to start. We're going to take about a 3-minute break. Once we get back, we're going to, after 3 minutes, we're going to hit all NJIC. We're going to be talking to Weehawken tonight. We're going to be talking to Pompton Lakes tonight. We're going to be talking Butler. We're going to be talking Butler, New Milford, that game. We're going to be talking about who's going to be going on to the NJIC playoffs. So
basically, to summarize, there's a lot to talk about, and we hope that you stay right with us right here on All In High School
I couldn't have
Sports.
said it better. I couldn't have said it
Great
better.
job, Eli.
There's RJ Calabro Sports saying hello. What is going on? And we will be back in a couple of minutes. So please stay
right
tuned.
here.
NJIC football coming soon. And we are back. We are back on All In on NJIC football. Kurt Valenti here. Jen Valenti backstage. Jen recovering from a little procedure, and she did not take the night off. She's just backstage. She's working hard. Jen, how are you? Nope, I guess so. I don't know if we have Jen.
Not here yet.
He's not there.
Pierre's not here yet. Yep.
Jen might have took the night off. I think
Oh,
she
deserves
sorry.
it.
I was
There it
reading-
is.
I
Oh,
was
there's
reading,
Jen.
Sorry. It's hard being backstage. I'm not used to all the things I have to remember to do.
But I'm glad, Jen, you are able to do it from backstage tonight. Again, while you get your little recovery, you're doing a great job. You look fantastic. Guys, I'm going to say this right now, guys. You know what, Eli and Jack? The show just isn't as good looking without Jen. You know,
It's not.
It's not. You know, we
It's a
miss it.
different feel.
It's
Yeah.
a different feel, right? It's a different.
Jen is awesome. We all love Jen.
Yeah, we love Jen. So she's backstage. She's working hard. She's pushing through. And I said, Jen, what am I going? She said, I'll be there. I'll just be backstage. So I said, all right, let's go. But no, I'm glad you're getting better, Jen. And can't wait for you to be sitting here because it's different. But hey,
Gives her more time to prep for next week's games.
exactly.
Keep getting better, Jen.
No,
You're
here's
looking for the bigger picture, Jed. Just look at the bigger picture. The advantages you have now.
guys, that when she falls down in the standings, you know.
Oh God.
But no, Jen, how are you?
I'm good. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
We are sponsored by Red's Restaurant and Beer Garden with 2 locations in East Rutherford and in Newark, and also the Roosevelt in. I'm sorry, I think I got that mixed up there. I want to make sure I'm giving the correct locations. Carlstadt and Newark for Reds, and East Rutherford is the location of the Roosevelt there. So definitely check those out. We're big fans ourselves, so be sure to check them out.
Yeah, we haven't been to the Roosevelt. We will,
That's
but
on the list. That's on the
Reds,
list.
oh my God,
Yep.
like I'm not even lying, Jen. If you're good to go out this weekend, maybe we go and seriously, because the place is phenomenal. It has all the games on. It's just a great setting. And I'll tell you this, if we happen to go Friday night, we just bring a computer with us, because guess what we're gonna watch? We're gonna watch Search Sports, and we'll be watching the Wallington.
Or you can head to the game first and then head right over. Either or.
You know what? That's a good
We
idea.
did that
Right,
2 weeks ago.
We did that in Woodbridge.
You can stop by the broadcast booth, see your guys.
Yeah, you're right. You're
For
right.
sure.
But Jen, thank you for being on. And Eli, thank you for being on again with us. How are you?
Absolutely, I'm doing great and ready for hour number 2.
And Jack?
Same here. Thank you guys for having us as always. Ready for hour number 2. Let's get to some NJIC action.
Let's go. And Jen, we got a full agenda. We got a lot going on. We got big games coming up this week. We'll know by this weekend who's in the NJIC playoffs. We've been always, okay, we're going to project this. There's no more projecting after this weekend. We're going to know. We got a big one coming up. So we're ready to roll.
Let me give a little rundown of what's on tonight's agenda. First, we're going to welcome the coach from Weehawken. We're going to have the coach from Butler and a few of his players, coach from Pompton Lakes and a few of his players. Then we'll end the show with our usual, division leaders, like you're saying, the standings in each division, some recap of week 4 stats. We'll pick our player of the week, and then we'll pick our week 5 games. So that's what tonight looks like. But Kurt, we got Coach Campy in the backstage. So why don't I bring him on in and officially introduce him? How's that sound?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me get him in here. All right. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm well. How about you guys?
Good. Let me formally introduce you. We are joined by Coach William Campy. It's his 6th year as the head coach at Weehawken. Last year, his squad was the 8-0 Union Division champion. This year, they're off to a 2-3 start competing in the Patriot Division of the NJIC. Welcome, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Like just Jen said, Coach, thank you for taking out the time. First time having you on. We appreciate it. Hope it's not the last time. We would love to always have you on. And my first question for you is, Coach, how does it feel for you guys now to rejoin the Patriot Division? And how important is it for your program to get back to the Patriot Division? And like Jen said, you guys were unbelievable in the Union. Now you're back in. How important is it?
It's definitely important. It's been a long time coming. I think my first year here as head coach, we went 0-8. It was one of those things where, ended the season with maybe 15 kids on the roster. And so it's been a long process of just trying to build up a culture and basically just recreating a standard that works for us and for our group. And the Union, the last couple of years, we were able to put together some pretty good squads and, put together some good games. And it was natural for us to make that jump. We weren't our plan was, no matter what all the other teams had decided, our plan was after the 2 years was to try to join and make the jump. So it's been great for competition's sake and so on to get these kids a new look at some more familiar games from the past.
Coach, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about personnel. I wanted to start with your senior quarterback, Christian Ramirez, who's passed for almost 400 yards, has a team leading 260 yards rushing, and even leads your team in tackles, if I'm not mistaken, with 33. How important has his performance all over the field been for you this year?
It's been just honestly, it's irreplaceable. He's a leader in and out of on and off the field. He's really taken actually another step, which has been great. As a young kid coming in, freshman, he did get some varsity time for us, and at times seemed maybe a little overwhelmed, as any freshman would. But at our school, we don't really have those kind of numbers where you can just throw a bunch of seniors and juniors in. Sometimes we need young kids to step up, and he missed all his sophomore year, and then last year really made it known, like, okay, he's arrived. And this year, honestly, the weight room was a huge thing. He put on, I think, another 15, 20 pounds, and that's helped him kind of with the durability of being able to play some linebacker for us as well. So it's honestly irreplaceable.
And you have, and forgive me if I pronounce anybody's names wrong, and feel free to correct me, please. You have Emmanuel De La Hoz, who exploded for 4 touchdowns this past week against Wallington. Senior Inez Wells, who's both a rushing and a receiving leader for you. Can you talk about their role on the team and highlight some of your other players who are contributing on both sides of the ball as well?
Yeah, sure. Inez Wells, a senior, again, known him for quite some time now. He's just kind of got that explosive playability for us, and it's one of those things that has continued to grow as he's matured as an athlete at Weehawken. And just a great kid, carries himself well, and that tends to gravitate towards other players. And Manny De La Hoz, I'm very, very fond of him and his family. We coached his older brother, Juan, when Manny was a freshman. Juan was a senior, and he was the quarterback for us when for our first year. Well, not our first year, but the year we won the Union 2 years ago. And great family. Can't speak any more highly of them. And Manny's just the chip off the old block when it comes to just competing and putting in the time and the effort when it comes to football and classwork.
And any other players you wanted to highlight for your team that are contributing for you?
No, definitely JP Cardenas. He's been a starter for us in the trenches really since sophomore year, and he's invaluable. He's kind of the guy that can get us the explosive negative play on defense, and we consider him to be a leader up front with our O-line. It's kind of wild. Going into the season, I really thought we were upper, like senior class heavy, and we really only have 4 seniors. But it just speaks to, how indispensable those guys are, because they make their presence known on the field and off the field.
Nice.
Coach, I'm gonna go off script a little bit. This is the first time tonight, Jen. So, Coach, but Coach, I remember saying this on the show early on when we did like our preview and then like our week 0 or week 1, whatever it was. I said I have a feeling like the teams coming from the Union Division, Bogota, right, Elmwood Park, and you guys, like, you're gonna come in kind of with that attitude of like, let's go. Like, we belong here. We're ready to go. And you guys start off the season, you play perennial power Park Ridge. I believe it was a 7-0 game, correct? It was a 7-0 game. And,
yeah.
and I just think, like, was that like your mentality of like, oh my God, we're not, like, we belong here. Like, we belong here right now. And we're going to start playing with these teams like from day one.
Yeah, that's one of the ones we really feel like we wanted to get back. It was a really sloppy game on our part. We just didn't execute quite as cleanly as we would have liked to. And Park Ridge, the reputation and the history is is one of the best in North Jersey. So it was a tough pill to swallow. It was when I brought the kids in the off season, probably late November, early December last year. Our goal was to make playoffs. The last year's group was a very young group in terms of starters and so on. We only really lost 2 starters. Well, technically 2 more because they just didn't come back, unfortunately. But that group was kind of the heart of what put the effort in last year and got us to, win 8 games and lose none. So we felt really strong with that core, and that's just kind of carried us through the season with our attitude, and we're competing, and that's still the goal. May not have gotten the outcome that we wanted to in a couple games, but we fought, and that's the one thing I will say about our group that's changed since I've been here, I think, is just I do think we fight and we don't quit on each other, and that's something that we break down after every practice, every game on Weehawken and family, and I truly believe that the kids and the players in the locker room feel that way.
That's so nice, Coach. If I'm not mistaken, I think you guys are the only team in the NJIC right now that has played your entire division schedule. So now you're awaiting the results, right, to kind of see who your crossover opponent will be. So my question is that a challenging situation to be in right now? You have to keep practicing, right? You're not really sure who you're preparing for, and you're also trying to keep your players hungry and focused. How do you feel about that?
Oh, the one beauty of coaching Group 1 football is that a little rest is never a bad thing, especially when you have so many kids. You don't have a lot of kids, and you don't, and you have so many going both ways playing Ironman. So it's a nice little respite before going back into the fray next week. And the thing is, the kids were lifting. Lifting in season's been really important, I think. And I'm sure any coach that you talk to will talk about how lifting is basically your armor for the season, off season and in season. You need to lift. So it's been a good week of lifting so far. We're going to continue doing that. We're going to watch film, get on the field a little bit, just lick our wounds and make sure we're in the right headspace.
Nice.
Coach, what do you guys want to accomplish the rest of the season?
As I said before, the goal is playoffs. We got three games left to get that accomplished, and the goal is to do that. So they're going to be some tight games, some tough games, but 2 and 3, basically, we felt like going into the season, getting to 4 wins is kind of the sweet spot to get a bid, and that's the goal.
Awesome. Coach, best of luck to you. We really appreciate you joining us tonight, and we hope you're able to achieve that goal. We'll definitely continue to be in touch as the season continues.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, Jen. So I remember on this show, and I said, and when we talked with Coach in the off season, and he filled out when we were going back and forth. I remember him saying playoffs was his goal.
Yeah,
he had some
100%
players coming back, and I remember saying they're just not going to come in. They're going to come in, and I feel the same way with Bogota and with Elmwood Park, and especially Weehawken. That they belong right away, and that performance. Even though it didn't go their way, they lost 7-0 to Park Ridge. That kind of set the tone of this team's for real, and this team's going to be in a lot of games. So what's your thoughts on that?
No, I agree. Not a team to be taken lightly for sure. And, there's been a lot of, you hear Coach talk about building up the numbers in his program, from going from 15 kids and having to get just the sheer bodies on the field. We know Coach Johnson went through a similar thing at St. Mary's. We've seen teams combine, towns because of that. So these are the things that have changed in the landscape of high school sports a little bit that coaches are contending with. And he's stuck the course. He got them back where he wanted them to be. You hear him talk about the importance of the off-season training, getting the kids stronger, and like he said, I love his analogy there. It's like your armor for the season, but yeah, so true. Such good points.
You know what, Eli? Jen just made a great point. And Do you see like some similarities in that, like the smaller school? You have witnessed, you and Jack, and we'll get to Jack in a second, but Eli first. You have witnessed like that a football team with not many kids, and then building and then building and building, and now like St. Mary's is back to their perennial power in the NJIC. Do you see some similarities in the Weehawken with the St. Mary's thing, Eli?
Yeah, and honestly, I think what we got to note first is it's a new division for them. We need to start with that first. A new division means it's a whole new landscape of teams that you're about to play and a new everything. For St. Mary's, we noticed that even though the division hasn't changed much for them, it was a matter of growth of players and new additions to the team and trying to recruit it. And Johnson has done a phenomenal job of getting all that done. But yeah, for Weehawken, it's just adjusting to the new division and welcoming the new players with open arms.
Jack, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with what Eli said. Obviously not easy for Weehawken going to a new division. It's kind of like Ramapo, kind of like a transition year for them. But I think coach has done a great job, keeping the faith in his players, week in, week out. They've had some competitive games. You mentioned it with the Parkridge game.
Yeah.
And I think Weehawken's got a bright future. I think they just need a little bit more time, but they're certainly heading in the right direction with the coach they have right now.
Absolutely, Jen, and I love the goal. I love the goal of, hey, they want to get to 4, 4 wins, thinks they get them in. And listen, I think they got a chance, Jen. I do.
I agree, 100%. Our next guest is Coach Luciano from Butler, and I believe he and his players are ready as well. So I'm going to bring them in. And like I said, I will officially introduce everyone once we are all here and on the screen. All right. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Jen, Kurt, how are you guys doing?
How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us. Let me formally introduce you. We are joined by Coach Jason Luciano. This is his coach. Am I right? 12th year at the head of Butler since 2013?
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, 2013.
Okay. His team is currently 4-0 in the Meadowlands division of the NJIC. This week, they will host New Milford for the division championship. He is joined by PJ Coffey and Matt Barilli. Boys, how did I do with your names? Did I get them right?
Yeah, you got mine right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good on mine too.
Oh, wow. All right.
Good
All
job,
right. 2
Jen.
for 2. Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
For having us.
Thank you.
Coach, I'm going to start with you. As I mentioned when I introduced you, you guys are 4-0. New Milford is 4-0. You're hosting them at home in the last divisional game of the season for the divisional title. The winner goes on for a chance to, to continue to try to win the entire NJIC. 2 things. Could you script it any better, any more exciting? And how excited are you and the players for this opportunity?
We're very, very happy and we feel very fortunate for the way the season has gone to this point. We're 4-0. New Milford's 4-0. It's an exciting time of the year. Honestly, I'd just like to have a good practice tomorrow. That would make me really happy. And I try not to get too caught up in the hoopla. I know it's exciting for the kids. There's been a buzz around school, but we're just trying to stay focused on what's in front of us, not put too much emphasis on the gravity of the game. And I think that's been a key to our success for a number of years here. So that's where my head is at today.
I like it, Coach.
Yeah, you know what, Jen? I'm very disappointed in myself because I should have rocked my Butler sweatshirt that your friend Michelle got me last.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm disappointed. It's a little hot up here, but I should have. I'm disappointed. I'm going to go to PJ. PJ, you guys have an explosive offense, right? It seems obviously you guys can throw it, you guys can run it. Seems like you guys can do it all. Can you talk a little bit about your offense?
I would like to say we probably have one of the most explosive offenses in all of NJIC. We have all of our returning starters from offense coming back from last year, obviously besides David. But, he trained through all of his offseason and the years before that. So it's nothing he wasn't ready for. And I think that just the athletes we have on the field and the experience we have allows us to be so good, so explosive, and so technically sound on our offense. And it's very difficult to stop us.
Nice. I'm actually going to come to Matt. And Matt, Kurt mentioned the offensive firepower that you guys have. But, on defense, you've only allowed 20 points in 4 games and you've recorded 2 shutouts. What makes your defense so tough?
Just like PJ said, we got a lot of talent on the field. We have a lot of players coming back from last year. So not only are we having a lot of talent, we have a lot of experience on the field. a lot of us, especially the seniors, have played all 4 years. We've started all 4 years. We have a lot of experience coming up through the program, and the talent around the field really balances out. There's not really any weak spots in the field where defense or offensive can try to target us. We have a lot of strong players in every position. There's no weak points for anyone to target us at, and a lot of us we play together well, and we just mesh well, and that really helps us.
Jen, I'm going to go back off script. We can just stay with Matt real quick, and then we'll get PJ. Last year's run, right? You guys have a great run. I believe you guys went to the sectional finals?
Yeah, we did.
Sectional finals last year, right? Tremendous run. How much, I know every year you guys are, league champs, NJIC champs. You guys want to be state champs and stuff, but you guys made that legit run last year. How much motivation was it now you guys come into this season and say hey, what you guys did last year, you want to do more? How much motivation was that?
Oh, absolutely. That's been a biggest drive for us. I know all of us have been talking all year, all off season about how much more we wanted this year. Everyone's being in the weight room in the off season, playing the other sports, putting all the effort in. Everyone wants to come out this year firing on all cylinders, make sure we can make it farther than we did last year, actually win the sectional. And obviously the whole goal is to win the whole state, but we want to come out as much as we can and it motivates us a lot that we did end up losing last year.
PJ, what about you? Same question.
Yeah, I would definitely say that last year's game against Shabazz left a stung in a bunch of us, especially since we believed that we could win that game. And, just a couple of ball turns and a couple mistakes that caused us to kind of slip out of that game. But we believe that we could have won it, so it made us more driven for this year. So like Matt said, everyone wanted to come back, be better, and actually win the whole thing. And we just got to take it step by step. First NJIC, then the group, and then state. But we got to focus on one thing at a time first.
Jen, I got one more for Coach, but I'll let you go, and then I'll come back to Coach.
Oh, you sure? All right. Well, I have one for Coach too. So, Coach, one of the things that we're kind of passionate about on this show is just really, we want to give, as many kids the, they work so hard, the notoriety that you deserve. Would you highlight some of your players that are getting the job done for you all over the field? If you want to start with your two that are joining you tonight.
Well, sure. Matt and PJ, obviously, both phenomenal players, phenomenal people. When your best players are good people, Coach Saban, I've heard him say this before, you got something special, and these two guys certainly exemplify that. PJ mentioned David Smith, our quarterback, who's having a great season. I'd like to mention our offensive line. They've done a phenomenal job. We've had some injuries up along the offensive line, and a couple of guys have stepped in, and we're hoping to get healthy there soon. But Tommy Henahan, on Cole Benacasa, David Santo, Tyler Tortola, Luca Torriello, and Max Stoyanovich. These kids are 3 and 4 year starters along the offensive line, and they have size, they have intelligence, they have aggression, and they're a force. They're a force, and part of the reason we are so explosive on offense is because there's always holes to be had, and the quarterback has time, so it makes things really, really work for us. So those are the guys that I wanted to focus on, and they've done a great job, and I expect that to continue.
Coach,
Nice.
I'm sorry, Jen. We talked.
No, go ahead.
Friday night, New Milford. New Milford's off to a 4-0 start. Can you talk a little bit about New Milford? What challenges they're going to pose for you guys this week?
What's old is new is what's old is new, right? They've kind of wound the clock back. They run a pro style of offense, and they want to come at you, and they want to get downhill, and they have some size in the backfield, and their quarterback is an outstanding thrower. He's a good runner. He's a tough kid. He's a good wrestler. I followed his wrestling career, so they're gonna pose some challenges, and then on the offensive side of the ball, and then defensively again, they play a physical style of football. They want to challenge you. So Bill's done a great job there. They have New Milford has a proud football tradition. So we're expecting to get their best shot on Friday night, and they're going to try to control the clock and control the ball. And we're trying to be a little bit more up tempo and more explosive. So I think the contrast in styles will make for a good football game.
Nice. My last question, Kurt, is going to be for both PJ and Matt. Guys, you guys are seniors, right? This is your final season. Quick question before I kind of get to my question. Matt, I think it was you who said that you guys have been playing together for Butler since your freshman year. Did you guys play football growing up together as well, like in the lower ranks?
Yeah, a lot of us did come up through the BYC program, our youth program here in Butler and Bloomingdale. A lot of us have played through our whole lives. I personally haven't. I started late playing football, but a lot of us have played our whole lives playing football together, and all of us have just been friends in general from other sports and stuff too. So we all know each other really well, and just that bond in general has really helped us.
I was going to say, for your senior year with this, group of friends, not just teammates that you guys are playing with, like what does it mean to you to be playing in this game, this final season with this group of people? How special is that to you? PJ, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'd love to answer that question. I've been playing with some of these guys ever since I've been 5-7 years old. So it's truly a blessing that, we've all kind of stuck together and no one has kind of dropped the sport or anything. And, these guys have been my guys since day one. So it means a lot that I'm still with them today, and this season means a whole lot more.
Nice. And Matt, anything you want to add?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, us coming up through the program together and us just being friends in general really has helped us a lot. Even if it's not through football, we've all been friends, like I said, and it really makes us want to win for each other and not just for ourselves, and that really helps the football team.
So nice. Kurt, anything else for Coach or PJ and Matt?
I'm good. I just got a rapid fire for him whenever you want me.
Oh, all right. We're ready. Before we let you go, quick rapid fire from Kurt.
All right. So if you guys could get, and I hope friends and family, especially family, are watching, holidays are coming around. So if you guys could get another football jersey that you don't have, and you would want somebody to get you, or you buy it yourself, or somebody buy it for you as a gift, what NFL player? Listen to me. It could be NFL, college. It could be anything. You could say you want a PJ Coffee jersey if you want. Give me a jersey that you would want someone to get for you. Your next jersey of NFL or college is who?
All right, let's go Matt, PJ, and then Coach.
Me personally, I'm a Commanders fan, as you can see back there with the blanket.
I did. You know what? I did see that. I did.
I would love a Jaden Daniels jersey. He's been playing really good this year, and it's really great to see the Commanders finally have a good quarterback play. Being a fan all my life, never really seen that before. So seeing it now and us having a good season, it's really making my Sundays less stressful for me.
There you go.
PJ?
I'd probably have to say either a George Pickens jersey or a Joey Porter jersey. So obviously I'm a Steelers fan, but I love their play styles both ways. I love George Pickens' aggression and his overall confidence in the game. So I love watching him on Sundays. So I probably have to go with one of those two.
And how about you, Coach?
To satisfy the football people, I'll say a Dexter Lawrence jersey. but the people who really know me know that I want a Jalen Brunson jersey. Go Knicks.
Oh, nice.
Coach,
You're talking to
let's
the right
go,
people,
baby. Coach, what do you think? You like
bro.
the deal? Carl
DJ's a
Anthony
big
Towns?
Celtics fan.
You like the Carl Anthony Towns deal?
Oh, both of my kids go to Villanova, so I'm a big Nova Knicks fan. I'm sorry to see Dante go, but I do think that the trade improved the Knicks tremendously. So yes, I did like the move.
Well, Jen, he brought the Knicks up. I'm definitely wearing my Butler sweatshirt next week.
Yeah, I know. You blew it tonight.
How hot it's up here. I'm rocking.
Go Knicks.
Coach, did I hear you say PJ's a Celtics fan?
Get him off the screen. Get him off the screen.
I thought I heard that get slipped in there.
You know what? It could have been worse. He could have said he's a Pacers fan, so it could have been worse. We deal with that.
PJ and I have a little side bet on opening night.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Coach, and of course, Matt and PJ, thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. It was a pleasure to have you guys on, and we want to wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Kurt,
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, Jen. So, listen, we just heard from Butler football. I mean, one of the favorites, if not the favorite in the NJIC. Again, a tremendous run. We joked about it last year, and Michelle hooked me up with my Butler hoodie. And Coach is a Knicks fan. I mean, Brunch. I mean, come on. I
That's all
mean,
you got to ask for.
that's it. But that's
That's
it.
just, I want to say
I might
two
want a
things real
coach
quick.
jersey. I might want to put coach's face on a shirt and wear that. I mean, after that.
Of course, obviously. I
But,
wanted to say two things. First off, Jen, good job on getting the names right. I mean, it looks like when you have no time on, you don't get the picks in. You have time to at least research and do your homework. So I appreciate that.
Nice, Eli. Nice.
He's got some time.
Nice work there. And to the answer to your question, I would go with a Seahawks throwback jersey. That's what I would go with.
Who?
Any Seahawks throwback jersey.
Anybody. Okay.
Anybody. Just that one.
Kurt, I
Metcalf.
didn't really like your Indiana Pacers comment. Don't disrespect the state of Indiana.
Wait, you're a Pacers fan?
No, but who else plays in Indiana?
Oh, well, I don't care about that. If you were a Pacers fan, we're
I'm
gonna
not
have
a
beef.
Pacers
Yeah,
fan.
we have.
But
beef
I was
all
just
the
And
way.
that Knicks show when it comes
I
back
was-
into season,
I
it's going to
was
be
just
epic fire.
in Indiana, and all my Colts friends are also Pacer fans, so I have to have some love for the Pacers.
Jen,
You
is
gotta
there any
support the
love
New
for
York
me and
team,
the
at least.
Pacers, Jen?
What did you say, Kurt?
There would never be a word of Pacers and love in any sentence for
No,
me.
no, not so
Wow.
Mr. Reggie Miller
Unless it's a
days,
bet that,
no.
Anyways,
the
if I were to
Kurt
pick
loses.
a jersey, probably that's honestly really tough. This might be a weird one to say. Adam Vinatieri. I love an Adam
That's a
Vinatieri
good one.
jersey.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good
So
one.
many made so many clutch kicks for us, and oh my goodness, our kickers have been so bad since. I miss having good kicking. So
Jen,
no-
give me a jersey.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with an LT jersey.
Ooh, okay.
Which,
Yeah.
which
Kurt's going to
LT?
go ahead and say Russell
LT,
Wilson from the
Jen?
Denver Broncos era.
Oh, I got a couple. I'll give it
We
to
go.
you.
Sadly,
Wait.
those are in the closet.
Wait, Jen,
Yeah.
which LT are you referring to?
Oh,
There's
Lawrence Taylor. Sorry.
okay, because
Lawrence
there's also
Taylor.
LaDainian Tomlinson, so I wasn't sure which one.
Jen, what were
Sorry
your thoughts on Butler? I mean, I just thought the kids like focus. Hey, they got a bullseye right on their chest. I mean, they like I said, one of the favorites, if not the favorite. So they know coming in, everyone's has them circled. But listen,
Well,
Friday night they're here to make a statement on that.
Here's
And
what
get
I'm
to the
gonna
playoffs.
say. My first question, I loved Coach's response. Like, we're not getting caught up in that.
Yep.
This is, we're here to do a job. He's like, I just want to have a good practice tomorrow. I loved his answer. So I got to say, and you know what? You love when you see, coaches talk about the buy-in from their players, right? And you can, I use that term. I don't want to make it sound like they're buying into something that they shouldn't be, but like, you know what? He has them. They have goals and they want to achieve them, and they're all on the same page. And that's very evident when you talk to him and his players. I am curious what his side bet with PJ is. Maybe he'll get that Brunson jersey if I wonder if that's on the line. I wonder if that's on the line.
But I know what Kurt's thinking right now.
I'm fired up for that game. Oh, I'm so fired up, Jen. Let's go.
But we do have one more guest tonight, so I do want to make sure we get in. We are going to welcome Pompton Lakes football. So let me, I think we're all ready to go in the rooms. Let me get everybody in. Then, of course, I will formally introduce Coach Jones and his players. Let me grab them in here. Coach Jones. We got Anthony and hey, Coach, how you doing?
Great. How you doing, Jen?
Good to
up,
see
Coach?
you.
Hey, what's up, Kurt? How you doing?
And Antonio, let me formally introduce you guys. We are joined by Pompton Lakes head football coach Justin Jones. It's his first year at the helm of the program. His team is 3-1. They compete in the Liberty Division of the NJIC. He is joined tonight by captains Vinny Stigliano and Antonio Di Martinez. Guys, how did I do with everybody's names?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. You couldn't
did all right.
you couldn't mess my name up. It's just there.
I could have been like Jones. Coach, I'm going to start with you. You always open up the season. You lose a close one to Glen Rock. Then you reel off 3 consecutive victories. If you look at just like the scoreboard, you looks like indicating like steady improvement week by week. What do you attribute to your consistent improvement?
Kids just buying into the schemes, practicing tough, just learning how to win. In past couple years, we had some tough games where we could win it at the end, and we just didn't get it done. And our 3 wins in a row haven't been blowouts. They've been really good games where we have to learn how to come back. Especially Waldwick, we had to come back on that drive, and just learning how to win at the end of the game.
Nice.
Antonio, I'm going to go to you. Pompton Lakes traditionally has always had a great tradition defensively. As a leader on the defense this year, how important is it for you to uphold that tradition and make sure, that this Pompton Lakes team also has a great defense?
Yeah, of course. So our defense is definitely the staple of our team. It's important for us to, fly around the football, getting the big stops for us and get our offense back in the field, score them points. But yeah, most of us are 2-3 year starters, with a couple of young guys actually really stepped up and made really big plays. So it's definitely important for us.
I'm going to come to Vinny on this one. You and Antonio are also a great 1-2 punch on offense, right? You guys lead the team in receiving yards, and you lead the team in receiving yards, and Antonio leads the team in rushing. You have 4 touchdowns, but you guys have also had like 7 different scorers. So my question is, like, how nice is it to know that you guys have, as much as you two can get the job done, you have other options as well if teams are going to try to take you guys away?
Yeah, it's definitely really nice having other guys that could run the ball hard or even, make great plays out on the field, and it takes off a lot of pressure from us, especially seeing some even the younger guys step up and make some of our juniors are really making great plays on offense, and it's hard when you have a lot of good receivers. You can't double cover them all, so it's definitely adds a different element to our game for sure on offense.
Nice.
I'm going to come to Coach. And again, Coach, thank you guys so much for coming on. Congrats on your great start so far. So this week you guys play 3-time NJIC champions Rutherford, right? You get them there. How much of a measuring stick is it for you guys? I mean, people might say, oh, well, Rutherford's 2-2, but they're still Rutherford, right? I mean, they're in every game and that great program. How much is it a measuring stick for you guys to go down there and see what you guys are made of versus Rutherford this week?
That's a great question. It's a huge measuring stick. And the past couple of times they had our number. They've outscored us 76-25 in the last 3 games. Before that one semifinal game where a couple of years back where we kind of got them there in overtime to win there to go to the NJIC final. They're always a tough team, and we know it. We could see it on film. They got great kids. They're big up front. They got probably one of the best skill kids in the league, number 4. So it's going to be a big test for us. And I remember over the summer, one of the reporters came to one of our 7-on-7s, and he asked, besides the first game, because that's all what you always prepare for, Glen Rock, what game are you looking forward to? And I said, the Rutherford game. And we both probably thought that we're trying to win a division in this game, but, it didn't work out that way. But guess what? We're both trying to win second place. So it's going to be a great game. And, we're playing them Saturday. They're traditionally a Friday game. And we're a Saturday team. So we're hoping that that benefits us on Saturday.
I'm going to go back to both Vinny and Antonio on this. I have like 2 questions, guys. I'll start with the first one. Vinny, I'm going to let you start on this one. I get a little sentimental with the seniors, right? Like, what has it meant to you to play football for Pompton Lakes?
It is something special. Most of us seniors have come up together, been playing for a long time together. So it's definitely something special to compete out there and especially win next to some of your best friends that probably have for the rest of your life, and do it while also wearing the name Pompton Lakes on the front of your jersey is something special, especially with the rich tradition we have in Pompton Lakes, and football has been a major part of our town for many years. So it's definitely something special to have all these great kids next to us, and it's more than just a game. It's more like a fun time. We're not hating the game, and we get to go play with our friends, and it's a really great time while getting to play a sport we all love.
Nice. And Antonio, anything you want to add to that?
It's like touching what Vinny said, like both as an athlete and a person, like it means so much to me. It's these group of guys, these coaches, it's like a second family to me. And I wouldn't want to spend any of my summer days and practices after school anywhere else.
Oh, that's so nice. And I'm going to kind of piggyback off that. And I'll start with you here, Antonio. What has been your favorite Pompton Lakes football memory? It could be on the field, off the field. Like, what are you going to remember the most?
Yeah, so actually our recent win against Waldwick is definitely one I'm going to remember forever. Obviously, Coach Jones's first win as a head coach at Hurstfield, definitely a good time. It was homecoming, and that that game was a bloodbath. You know, it came down the wire. Some injuries to key players, and a lot of young guys stepped up, and we came out victorious, which was really nice. And we definitely played our hearts out. So
Nice. How about you, Vinny? What's been your favorite memory?
I'd say definitely, playing on Saturday at Hirschfield is probably, one of the best. Like, my favorite tradition is definitely like when the band comes marching down the hill. I always love that. That's always been like my favorite part of, playing on Saturdays. Having the band there, it's always a great time. The crowd's always great. So many people there supporting, and I personally love the band.
Nice.
Jen,
Very nice.
Can I ask them a quick question?
Of course.
It's kind of funny because I coached at St. Mary's for a bunch of years, and our home games were Saturday too, and it was like weird. Like I always had a feeling. I mean, when I also coached at Ramapo, we played Friday nights, but when I went to Ramapo, I was St. Mary's. It was like, oh my God, like it just felt like, I don't know. I rather play Saturday too. Like you guys have that feeling, like Vinny, would you rather play on I mean, listen, I know you'll play on a Sunday if you have to, but I mean, do you like the Saturday games better?
I'd say I definitely do like the Saturday games better. Definitely gives more time to prepare in the week, just help build the schemes, and there's a lot that goes into a week of football to prepare for one team. So I think the Saturday games are definitely better for us. We get a lot more time to practice with our teammates and definitely perfect the plays that are going in each week.
And Tar, what about you? Preference? Do you like a Saturday?
Yeah, definitely Saturdays. Definitely Saturdays. Fridays we watch film. We do all of our walkthroughs, gets us prepared for the game more, like Vinny said. And it's just a tradition that goes in it. Pompton's always played on Saturday, so we're glad to do that.
Jen, I'm going to go to Coach one more time. Coach, obviously you have two of your standout players on here. Anybody else, you want to highlight any other players on the team?
I mean, obviously the two guys here, there are all everything guys. And you guys touched upon how we have a lot of people that have scored touchdowns and a lot of people that have, a decent amount of yards on the stat sheet. And that was the thing that we had during our three-peat years. It was you couldn't take one guy out of the game, like Vinny said. We have a bunch of guys that can do some damage on offense and on defense. And, a couple of the juniors, I guess you want to highlight, Justin Ungs as a O-line, D-line guy. Raiden Gelladini. Obviously, we have to mention our other our two senior captains, Chris Alborn, doing a tremendous job, wide receiver and defensive back. Our other captain, John Sanchez, he actually unfortunately tore his ACL in August. But just having him around and having energy, and that's the reason why he was a captain. Just infectious energy that he gives to the team.
Jen, one more for Coach, and I know one of the guys, I'm not sure who it was, mentioned how happy they were that you got your first, home win the other day. Well, what did that mean to you? Like, at Pompton, at home, to get that first win. Like, what was that feeling like for you?
It was undescribable. I had my sunglasses on. It was sunny, and at the end, when I was talking to him, I told him I was keeping my sunglasses on because I didn't want them to see the tears coming. Just the way the game, unfolded, where we had our one kid, our quarterback get hurt, our other quarterback comes in, and we have a 6-minute drive, and on fourth down, we have our best player match up against their best player, and our best player won on that last play. And it was just really exciting. We got a lot of buzz going around our town now in our school, and down at Hirschfield, it's like it's kind of like a party atmosphere. We have food trucks, we have ice cream trucks, we have this big huge blow up tent that we're running through. This Cardinal head. It's really exciting around our town right now.
That's awesome, Coach.
We got to get there, Jen. We got to get there.
100%. Kurt, you want to give them the rapid fire question?
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys the same rapid fire I gave the Butler kids. If you guys can get another football jersey, and again, hopefully there's friends and family listening, holidays coming up, they can get you one. But give me a football jersey, NFL, college. It could be basketball if you want. Give me the next jersey you want. Who is it?
Let's go Vinny, Antonio, and then Coach.
For me, it would probably be DK Metcalf. I love the way he plays. He's a physical wide receiver, but he's also fast, and I definitely like to watch him go up, catch a ball, and run some people over while still outrunning everybody. I think that's pretty awesome to do at his
Monster
size.
game last night for DK. Monster game.
Yeah, so
I'm
I would
49ers
definitely.
fan, so I don't like that too much.
Antonio, how about you?
Yeah, so I'm a huge Vikings fan. I know it's weird. I'm in New Jersey. I don't know why I'm a Vikings fan, but I'm gonna have to go with my boy Sam Darnold, who's having an amazing season. We're 4-0 right now. I got the Jefferson jersey ready, so I'm gonna have to go with my quarterback right now, Sam Darnold.
Oh, so you're gonna go? You're not gonna wait for the JJ McCarthy one. You want the Darnold one?
Yeah, I want the Darnold.
Okay.
I want him around.
All right. Coach, what about you?
I am a huge Nebraska Cornhuskers fan. So the energy that's going on right now in that program, and the number that I wore in high school and college was 15. So I would have to go with Dylan Raiola or Raiola, however you want to pronounce it. I would love to have that jersey.
Coach, isn't it amazing? Like when I first read it and they were like, the kid looks like a clone of Patrick Mahomes, but like, doesn't he have he just looks like Mahomes? It's crazy.
And he's acting his pregame warm up. He does the same, with the walking, and
it's crazy. But okay, Jay.
Coach, Vinny, Antonio, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. Best of luck the rest of the way. We'll definitely be in touch. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good night, guys.
Hey, Kurt, that's 2 for DK at the Seattle.
I know. I was waiting for you to cut in on that one. I'm like, uh-oh.
I wanted to, but it's all right. I'll let you finish that up.
Jen, what's your thoughts again? Pompton Lakes, 3-1 start. And listen, they are. You talk about a football tradition. They're another one. You talk about Butler and stuff. Pompton Lakes, year in year out, they're in there. Playing for league titles, sectional titles, state titles. Just and you can see how focused this team is. I love too. It's like, hey, they let the one get away with Glen Rock, but you know what they want now? They want to be second in there, and you know what?
Right.
Hey, this now, they're going into, they got to go to Rutherford, right? So, hey, you're going to get points. And you know what? Now you make a legit state playoff push. I mean, this team's a good team. And, this team's going to be a problem in the playoffs. This team is definitely going to be a problem for somebody. So what were your thoughts?
Well, you know what? I of course, we do the show. We talk about wins and losses. But you know what? There's such a bigger thing here. And what I love is when they were talking about being players for their team, that how much they just love being part of that program, due to the tradition, and talking about the things that, the marching band coming down, these are things they'll never forget in their lives, that they'll talk about, into their adult lives with their teammates, and then even coach saying how there's a buzz around the school and things are exciting. That's what it's all about. You're representing your high school, playing with this group of friends that you've had since you were little, there's such a bigger thing here, so it was really nice to hear them convey that.
Eli, what was you know what, Eli, I want to ask you and Jack a different question, Jen, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
You guys, obviously you cover St. Mary's, you go to St. Mary's, you do all their games, but how nice is it for you guys to kind of hey, I'm learning about Pompton Lakes, I'm learning about Weehawken, I'm learning about Butler. How cool is that for you guys to be hey, it's just, I just don't know St. Mary's, you're getting a little background of some of these kids. How cool is that for you guys?
I think it's really cool because if they eventually become pro, you can look back and say, I watched them on all the high school sports.
That's it, baby.
Every single moment, and look where they are now. And absolutely, I mean, these guys talk really highly and well, and it's pretty cool to hear about all these players and different athletes. And eventually, if we ever to play them across or whatever the future is, now we know a little bit about them. Hopefully.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we got some
Coach
references.
Coach Johnson be like, Eli and Jack, get into this office. You guys will be, we'll get into the picks later, but you guys think you're in trouble, you might be helpful. But what's your thoughts, Jack, on that?
Yeah, I totally agree with Eli. It's great to get to know all these teams, especially because St. Mary's might be playing them, some of these teams eventually in the NJIC tournament. But I really think it speaks volumes about the job you guys have done on this show, bringing the NJIC knowledge together. It's clear whenever we have coaches, players on the show, they have a ton of respect for you guys. You guys have done an outstanding job.
They have to
covering
hire you, the
covering
NJIC.
North Jersey. It's just very impressive.
Hey, you know what though? You guys are part of it now, so you guys,
Yeah,
are doing a great
100%.
job, too. You guys are doing a great job.
But
too.
it's been great though to learn about all these new teams. I totally agree with
Except
you.
the
and
one
Eli.
thing I disagree about the show is letting the rest of the opponents on your panel know about the game picks you're picking for the day. Seems like they're gonna get a little bit more notice next time.
I know.
How Kurt always angles for himself. Yeah, it's coming out, Eli. It's coming out.
Oh,
it's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Little by little. it
Jen's
comes out.
just mad because you know what? Her friend didn't get her a Butler sweatshirt. She got me one. That's why she's mad.
Yeah, because Kurt
She didn't ask.
shamelessly asks for clothing from every person
Yeah,
who
okay.
encounters. Shamelessly. But let's move on to some division standings. Let's see where everybody stands this week.
Okay.
So we start with the Colonial Division. Becton atop at 4-0. Kurt, Colonial Division champs, right?
Yep, they're in. I mean, they obviously have the they have the tiebreaker over Lyndhurst, so Becton's in no matter what, and they close it out versus Elmwood Park. But hey, Becton's going and they're advancing.
And in the Liberty Division, we have, this is where, this also is,
It's
as
Glen
Coach
Rock.
said, they're playing, because
Yep.
even if things, because of the head-to-heads, right? Even if things, last week is when things got finalized here.
Yeah, last week things were very, very close.
Yeah.
To the picks, but I picked Rutherford to have chaos, and you know what? They were very close to causing chaos.
Yeah.
And listen, Pompton could have been
That
in
game did
Wallington.
cause chaos, though.
Everything would have been chaos, and but congrats to Glen Rock. They got it done. They'll be moving on. They'll be playing St. Mary's. If St. Mary's has to finish business this week, but congratulations to Glen Rock.
All right, and moving on to the Meadowlands Division. This is when we had Coach Luciano on this evening. Him and New Milford. I mean, they're sitting atop this division, both undefeated. Play each other on. Is it Saturday, Kurt? Is it a Saturday?
Friday night.
Friday night. Okay, and this is the one that's still going to be decided.
This is it. It's game of the week. It's for all the marbles. Winners in, losers. The loser. Again, great season either way, but winner goes to 5-0, winner goes to the NJIC playoffs. So it'll be packed on Friday night, and it'll be interesting to see who we go with our picks.
And as you mentioned before, we have St. Mary's sitting undefeated on top of the Patriot Division here.
Yeah, I mean, again, another formality. St. Mary's is in. They have run the table in this division. And again, Coach Johnson will be taking the Gales to their first ever NJIC playoffs. Got business done last week against Bogota, and the Gales will be in.
All right, so we'll have hopefully the actual matchup seedings, brackets, right, what have you, next week, and crossover games then to be decided as well. Who the rest of the schedule looks like for the teams that aren't moving on to the playoffs. But let's get into some stat leaders for this week as well. Let's start with our usual touchdown leaders here. As we mentioned, we had Coach Campion earlier, Emmanuel De La Hose with 4 touchdowns, Chris Rios from Woodridge, 3 touchdowns, and Chris Joya from Rutherford also with 3. We had a slew of kids with 2 touchdowns. Mike Flacavento from Glen Rock, Shane Bell from Lodi, Avery Cano from Lyndhurst, Roddy Marino from Lyndhurst. PJ Coffey had 2 touchdowns, Alan Frias. So we had I have a few more here, Ryan Fleming and Dylan Ferrara from Waldwick. I want to make sure we give those kids a shout out as well. Anything you want to add on the touchdown leaders, Kurt?
No, I mean, again, it's we seen Emmanuel had a big game. Chris and Chris, they've been up there all year, but again, every week, like I said, 4 touchdowns. It's 4 touchdowns. That's big time. So
Absolutely. Then we have our top 6 rushing leaders here. Here's Chris Joy again, leading the week with 187 yards. Giovanni Nicodemi from New Milford checking in at 151. And there's Emmanuel De La Hoz again from Weehawken with 142 yards rushing. Our next 3 set of rushing leaders on the board are Anthony D. Martinez from Pompton at 115. We had him on tonight. Avery Cano, who I mentioned before, with 2 touchdowns from Lyndhurst, 106 yards rushing. And there's Chris Rios again with 103 yards rushing as well. All right, and some of our defensive stats. You can see our tackle leaders here. We got the Prado brothers on the board here twice. We have older brother Michael with 14 and 8. Nick coming in with 8. Anthony
Must be in the family, Jen.
Yeah, must be, right? But then here's another. We had Anthony Antonio on this evening.
He's on every week. He's a tackling machine. Machine.
But getting it done on both sides,
Yes.
just like such an important integral part of the team. Nicholas Mabel with 11. Radon Zaladen, again, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing, with 10. Peter Calvi from Butler with 9, and Chris Icavino from Woodridge with 2 interceptions for the game last week, which I thought was very noteworthy. And are you ready for us to reveal our player of the week, Kurt?
Yeah, we went 1 this week, and we
did.
took it from the bet. You know what? We took it from the biggest game, and some clutch moments from the biggest game, Jen.
Yeah, 100%. Our player of the week, of course, is Michael Flacavento from Glen Rock. I couldn't even fit all the important stats here, so let me start. 2 receptions on 6 for 64 yards, 2 touchdowns, had the game-winning field goal in the 4th quarter, and also was 4 for 4. Was also the kicker on extra point attempts. I thought that was important. I mean, it couldn't even get everything. The importance he played to this team in this game this week. Anything you want to add?
Just listen, he made big plays in big games, right? I mean, hey, again, that game would have been chaos if Rutherford wound up beating them. But Glen Rock held, and you're kicking the field goal in high school. It is not easy. It's a pressure situation. There was like 4 or 5 minutes left in that game, so it was clutch time. They probably don't even they might not get the ball back again if he misses that and he hits it. The rest is history. They're going on to the NJIC playoffs.
Yeah, big time. Big game. Like you said, big moments, So getting it done. Another name that we've been seeing, all season long. So are you ready to roll into to some pick'em part of the show? Well, let's get up. This is your favorite part. Let's get them up here.
Again, only 2 points out, Jen. Just know that.
No, Jen, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. Jack, what number's next to my name?
Just say 3, Jack.
I'm not sure if we lost Jack.
Did we lose Jack? Or he just doesn't want to admit it? He might not want to admit it.
Well, I will say I was able to chip away a little bit at you this week, KV. I gained ground by 1 game this week. So, yeah. So got 1 on you this week. Chipping away. So that's all that matters.
Jed, you're only two games out, so you could still, have you could still.
Thank you. Trying my best.
I think Jack is back with us now. Jack, are you back with us? No, I thought I heard Jack.
Oh, hold on. I got to put him in.
All right, put him there, Jack.
Can you guys hear me?
There he is.
There you go.
All right. Sorry, my computer died for a second. I think I lost
Jack, you know what? I'm going to put you on a fine system. Anytime they show up the standings, I said to you, Jen said, this is your favorite part of the show. I said, no, this is my favorite part of the show. Jack, what number is next to my name?
Say 3, Jack.
Numero uno.
Numero uno. That's my favorite part.
I'm going to start saying it in different languages now every time we're on the show.
Yes.
By the way, Kenny, you know what? Okay, real quick. When do we cut Kenny off the board? Because he's down
stop, Kurt, stop it.
I might jump ahead of him.
All right,
Kenny, if you're watching, we love you.
Let's move into our picks here, guys. I'm actually going to. I know, Eli, you're going to make a pick, right? I know I was going to I'll let you guys go first here. So we have 2-2 Elmwood Park at 4-0 Becton. Jack, why don't you start with you and Kenny?
Kenny's going to go with Becton here, 34-14, and I'm agreeing with him. I'm going with Becton, one of the best teams here in the NJIC. We had them on last week. Thought they did a great job with that interview. I think they keep it going on their road to the NJIC playoff.
It's
How
gonna
about
be
you, Eli?
it's gonna be Becton on the road taking the victory. Home
All right,
with the victory.
I have Becton as well. Kurt?
Jen, Elmwood Park must be able to run the ball, or it's going to be a long game. But you know what? This Becton's defense is damn good. You know it's going to have another big game by Tebow. I mean, Powsy. By the way, how many weeks in a row now? Powsy. I got the name right. Boom.
Yeah, well done.
Three in a
Well
row.
done.
Great job, Kurt.
Bang, bang. Got it all done.
Nice job,
But,
Kurt. But
no,
Jen also had no picks in advance and did her research though day of and still got it right. Just want to point that out.
I think
She still gets the extra credit for today.
that's okay. Powsy and the defense get it done. Becton head towards the NJIC playoffs.
All right, our next one is 3-1-1 Woodridge at 1-4 Bogota. Jack?
Well, I've talked about it most of the season, how much I love Coach Catrona and what he's doing there at Woodridge. They've had a really solid season outside of that game against St. Mary's. I think they take care of business here on the road. I'm taking Woodridge, as is Kenny, 27-13.
How about you, Eli?
It's gonna be Woodridge. I mean, listen, Bogota definitely had some struggle last week. They're hopefully they'll get some points on the board and better points in this game, but it'll be Woodridge on top.
I have Coach Catrona and Woodridge as well. Kurt?
You know, Bogota had some moments offensively versus St. Mary's, moved the ball a little bit through the air. Tight end, I believe hit a couple big plays. And Woodridge, I don't know, are they still steaming from that tie? He probably thought they had that game last week. But I think offensively, Chris Rios is too much. Michael Prado's too much defensively. I think that's the difference. I'm going to go Woodridge.
All right, our next matchup is 2-3 Garfield with an out-of-conference pickup game here at 5-0 MKA. Jack?
What does MKA stand for?
Montclair Kimberly Academy.
Oh, yes. We played them in baseball one year in the state playoff.
Okay.
Basketball might have.
No, that was Montclair Immaculate, I think. Montclair Kimberly
we played them.
Yes, we played a Gettysburg commit on the mound. That was a really good game.
Yeah.
Kenny's going with MKA here, 20-14. I am also going with MKA to win this game.
MKA. 3 letters, that simple.
I have MKA as well. Kurt?
Jen, Garfield was impressive in a win last week. Coach Santa Coach, 2 in a row. Big performances by Talib McCullough, Carmine Evelina, Johanny Rodriguez, Xavier Sanabria. But MKA, they love to run the ball. Can Garfield's defense stop the run? They run it behind Calvin Thomas. I think that's going to be a difference. I think their running game is going to be too much. I'm going to take MKA.
All right, we have undefeated Glen Rock traveling to winless North Arlington this week.
Well, this game doesn't really matter for Glen Rock. They're already in the NJIC, but I think Kenny and I are actually sort of on the same page here. Kenny has Glen Rock only by 10. I'm also going to take Glen Rock, but I think we're kind of on the same page, and maybe Glen Rock is going to look ahead to next week against St. Mary's, that maybe North Arlington stays in it for a little while, but it's going to be Glen Rock on the road in this one.
It'll be Glen Rock also on the road to win the victory here in that game.
I agree. I think they have a little too much offensive firepower. I'm going Glen Rock.
Yeah, North Arlington, again, I mentioned it with Elmwood Park, but North Arlington, same thing. They have to be able to run the ball. They can't be one-dimensional. It'll be too much for Glen Rock. But what can you say about Glen Rock, right? Headed to the NJIC playoffs, going to be playing St. Mary's. But let me ask you this, guys. Is there, and I know there's a bunch of great quarterbacks in this league, but, is there anyone playing better right now than Nick Atmey? I mean, running it, throwing it. I'll tell you, this NJIC's got tons of stud quarterbacks. That's why it's such a great league. But I'm going to take Glen Rock here.
To answer your question, Kurt, Bradley Higgins.
Yeah.
Brad's done a great job.
Jonathan Powsey, right? You got Smith, you got Bellinger. I mean, you got tons of quarterbacks in this league, right? You got Miles Bouchin,
Jersey
Ryan, right? I mean, Smith from
that's a great name, Jersey Ryan.
You guys got there's
Alex
so
Caserta from Waldwick. I mean,
yep. Rios. There's so many great quarterbacks in this league.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
There really are.
Alrighty, our next matchup is 2-2 Hasbrouck Heights at 0-4 Secaucus.
Well, I took Hasbrouck Heights in an upset last week. They let me down. But I'm going to take them here to win this game, 28-14.
It'll be Hasbrouck Heights for the victory as well.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Kenny's pick is 20-14. I'm just taking Hasbrouck Heights. My bad. I read that wrong.
And but Kenny has Hasbrouck Heights as well?
He does, 28-14.
I think Coach Seri gets his 3rd victory this weekend. I'm picking Hasbrouck Heights.
The Secaucus combination of Marcus Goldsack and AJ Conception are definitely going to keep them in this game. They had a big game last week, but Heights Heights, we always say Heights runs the ball, right, guys? They were held to 85 yards last week against Butler. So that Butler defense stopped them.
It was huge.
I don't think that's going to happen again. I think Summers and Napolitano, I think they run wild this week, and I think they pull away, and I think Heights gets the win.
All right, our next one is 1-3 Hawthorne at 1-3 Saddlebrook.
Kenny's taking Hawthorne here, 20-17, 2 in a row for Hawthorne. I'm going to take a bit of a different path, though. I'm going to take Saddlebrook here at home to win this game.
I am going to pick Hawthorne to win this game.
I have Hawthorne as well. I think they get their second win and 2 in a row, like Kenny said. Kurt?
Jen, you're going to have to help me with this. The Bears got Coach they got Coach win number 1 last week. They're going to get him number 2 this week. I'm going Hawthorne.
Our next one is 2-2 Lodi at 2-2 Cresskill.
Kenny is taking Cresskill 23-10, as am I.
I'm going to be taking Cresskill in the victory over Lodi.
Lodi last week, Kurt. I'm just consulting my picks here. Who did they have last week?
Lodi last week hold on, I'm sorry. Pal Park.
They beat Pal Park. Okay, I was just looking at their quarterback stats there. We're talking about the quarterbacks. I don't want to leave out Evan Cool, who was 9 for 12 with 181 yards for 3 touchdowns, and he had 1 rushing touchdown himself. When he plays well, they play well. But I'm still going to give Cresskill the edge here.
Yeah, Lodi, big win, like you said, behind Cool and John Wyman. Guys, listen to this stat. Cresskill in the last 2 weeks have been outscored 93-0.
Wow. Oh my goodness. What is going on?
93-0, Cresskill. But you know what? I think they look in the mirror. I think they say, you know what? Hey, that's in the past. Back at home, I'm going to take Cresskill in a gut check game. And I think Lodi is going to pose some threats to this Cresskill team, but I'm going to go with Cresskill.
They basically saw the billboard and passed it by.
That's it.
All right, our next one is 3-1 Lyndhurst at 0-5 Pal Park.
Well, Lyndhurst playing just about as good as anybody in the NJIC right now. Kenny's got Lyndhurst 35-7. Lyndhurst all day for me.
It is Lyndhurst all day as well. I mean, Palisades Park, they've been struggling. Hopefully they can put up some points here, but I don't think they can stop this Lyndhurst team.
Well, Kurt, you mentioned how many points Cresskill has let up, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about how many points Lyndhurst has scored since their opening week loss?
You ready, Jen? I got an answer for you. Your last 3 games. You ready?
Yeah, 147.
147-0.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you talk about something
We don't need
negative happening to you in the beginning of the season, maybe lighting a fire, right? Or being for the greater good. A hot team, like I think you said it as well. I'm going Lyndhurst.
Yeah, listen, Sean Bellinger. I mean, he's honestly, he's almost playing like perfect like quarterback. Every the last 3 games, like 14 for 18, 16 for 19. It's like, he's on fire. They're getting the run game. Their defense has been lights out. I'm telling you, it's the one team where they're not going to be in the NJIC playoffs. And again, hey, congrats to Becton for that one, because Becton beat them opening week. But this is going to be a scary team, man. And like I said, NJSIA playoffs coming along. I'm going Lyndhurst. I think they keep rolling.
All right, our next game is it loading there? Sorry. Did I pass it? I feel like I went past it. Sorry. Is a 2-2 Waldwick at 2-3 Manchester.
Kenny's taking Waldwick here 34-17, and I'm also riding with the Warriors here in this game.
It's going to be Waldwick on the road to beat Manchester.
I'm picking Waldwick as well. We've talked about their season a little, start strong, had a little letdown with the 2 losses, but I think they're finding their way. I think they make it 2 consecutive wins. I have them over Manchester.
Manchester played Pompton Lakes, and we know Pompton Lakes is a very good team. They played Pompton Lakes very tough. And Waldwick, though, last week, I said, look, that's like a season-changing game. that they had to get back on track, and they did. I just think Caserta, Natoli, Fleming, Ferreira, it's too much. I'm going to take Waldwick to beat Manchester.
All right, then for Jack and Eli, this one's for you. We've got 4-1 St. Mary's at 1-4 Wallington. Do we even have to take a poll on this one?
Absolutely not. I'm expecting this to be a sweep across board, but we'll go through the picks. Kenny's taking St. Mary's 34-7. St. Mary's has gotten close to hitting 50 a couple times this year. I think they do it this week. I have St. Mary's 52-6 over Wallington.
I have St. Mary's winning 48-7. Coach Johnson, if you're watching, I hope this score is going to make you happy and not angry at me for the score. I
Good job.
48 is good. So 48-7 is my pick.
All right, I'm going St. Mary's as well. We talk about the offensive explosiveness of this team. I think they're going to put up a lot of points as well, St. Mary's.
Yeah, Wallington's struggling, and now here come the gals, the hot gals coming in, right? Bradley Higgins and BJ Cunningham last week were hot last week in that Bogota game. And, I think they stay hot again on Friday night. St. Mary's. Hey, St. Mary's wins it. And Coach Johnson, what a great job you got. You got these kids to the NJIC playoffs, and
he'll be dancing.
They'll be dancing, and the fun will really begin.
Kurt, I just want to make sure I marked it down. You picked Waldwick in the last game?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Our second to last game is one of our guests tonight, Pompton Lakes 3-1 at 2-2 Rutherford. Jack.
This is an awesome game between these two teams. I think it's going to be very close. Kenny has Pompton Lakes in an upset, his upset of the week, 27-21. I am going with Rutherford, though. I feel like it's so tough to go there as a road team and get a win. They played well last week against Glen. Their two losses have both been very close. I think Rutherford puts it together here at home and gets a big win.
It will be Rutherford that gets the victory over Pompton Lakes. Rutherford really kept it close last week versus Glen Rock. Fortunately, lost by a point, and I think they're going to be looking at that and saying, "How can we beat Pompton Lakes even better?" Even though they have the better record, and I think they're going to do it this weekend.
This was such a hard decision. This is really such a hard decision. I could see
all
this
these
game.
games are.
Yeah, I could see this. I really could see this game going either way. I'm giving Rutherford the edge with the kids on that team who have won the championship before. I think they're going to take the close loss from last week and channel it this week, and they're at home. To me, that's the big difference. They're at home, so I'm going Rutherford.
Pompton, Jen, you definitely. When I went upstairs to get dressed, you probably looked in my notes. No more leaving notes.
Oh my God!
No more.
Yeah. Okay.
But Pompton Lakes, hey, 3 wins in a row. They're hot. Right after that tough loss to Glen Rock, they're hot. And we had Anthony DiMartinez. This kid does it all. Offensively, he's a tackling machine. And Rutherford, right? What a game last week. I did pick him. I was the only one that picked him, and I was close. Right, Miles Balkin again, and then you got Goya, Laura. But here's my question: when is the last time Rutherford got beat at home? You know what, Jack and Eli, you guys might not have been in high school. I don't know if you guys were in high school the last time they lost at home.
Well, they've won 3 NJIC titles in a row, so it's definitely possible.
I don't know the last time, and I'm going to say this: if I didn't know where Jen was going. I thought Jen was going to go Pompton, but I'm putting my my picks on the line here. I'm putting this in Rutherford, and guess what? I'm a St. Mary's guy. I'm not supposed to even like Rutherford, right? But you know what? I like this Rutherford team. I like Coach Dunn, and I believe in him. But I like Pompton too. But you know what? You got to pick. I'm going Rutherford at home.
Hey, I just want to point out, Jen, that he's mad that you saw his picks. I guess that he's gonna buy a safe now. So don't be surprised if he buys a safe to lock up his picks.
Totally fine. The last thing I want to do is see his picks. Jen,
tell the guys this and everybody watching. What is the one item that is sold at the Rutherford food stand that no one else sells?
Was it the Girl Scout cookies?
Yes. The Thin
Yeah.
Mints.
Girl Scout.
Thin Mints.
Oh,
Yeah, boxes
Thin Mints,
of Girl
yes.
Scout cookies.
I'll
Yeah.
be honest though, they expired, but I didn't care. They were because they're a
Oh, Kurt,
spring,
I
they're
really
a
like.
spring thing. They're like a spring cookie, but I was like, I'm gonna try one. I said, well, I'm still alive, so I ate box.
Listen,
Wait,
my
yeah,
Girl
goodness.
Scout cookies aren't bad, but I mean, you don't take the expired
Expired
cookies.
ones.
It was
Oh my
no,
goodness.
expired by a
Kurt.
month, right, Jen? By a month.
By a month.
By a month,
Oh my
not even
god.
all mine.
Oh my goodness, Kurt.
that's close to being a segment on this show, guys. The
Food
you know,
segment?
concession stands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very close. Very close. All right. And our game of the week, right? For the division title, 4-0 New Milford, traveling to 4-0 Butler. Let's see who everybody has.
This is tough. Kenny's going with New Milford. Or I'm sorry, he's going with Butler. I'm sorry. At home, 34-20. This is so tough. You got two great teams going out against each other, everything on the line. But you know what? Butler's at home. I think the experience that Butler has, and I think them being at home, I think Butler's going to win this game. It's so tough to pick, but I'm going to go with Butler.
It's the game of the year, literally. You can minus the playoffs, minus the MetLife games, minus every other regular season game. This is the game of the year. You have to be there to see it or watch it somewhere because this will determine all the marbles and everything. And in this case, both these teams are really good in battling at it, but I'm going to take Butler in the victory over New Milford.
I'm going Butler as well in this one. I'm giving them the edge.
All right,
Kurt?
guys, this is true. I asked the source yesterday, okay, in a text, and I'm not revealing my source. You don't reveal sources because the source will never be a source anymore, not give me information. And the source is not a high school coach, not a current high school coach. He doesn't coach in the NJIC. And I just asked him point blank, can New Milford win this game? And he just texted back within seconds, yes. He said, New Milford may have the biggest player on the team, on the field. And he said, New Milford may have the best player on the field. And I just said, do you remember, Jen? I said, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting that text. So New Milford has a lot of talent, right? Jersey Ryan, Giovanni Nicodemi, the Johnson boys, Luis Placido, the receiver. But now they got to go to Butler. All right. Now they got to go to Butler. We love Butler. I love Butler, right, Jen? I love Michelle. Michelle loves me. Michelle loves you. Michelle gave me the hoodie, not you. I'm rocking that hoodie next week. We love Coach. Coach is a Knick fan. You think I'm going to sit on this panel after Coach said, go Knicks, Brunson. You're out of your mind if you think I'm picking against Butler. David Smith, PJ Coffey, Calvi. We had Matt on the show. Butler at home punches their ticket to the NJIC playoffs. There's Jimmy Eiserman. What's up, guys? This is going to be a great game. But there's no way I'm picking against Butler. And Jen, the Butler hoodie will be worn next week.
All right.
Thank
And
you.
there you have it. All right. Well, that is it for our show this evening. First, I want to thank Jack and Eli. As always, guys, we really appreciate what you do for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And then
Thank you guys very much.
I want to thank our guests. Going back to our first hour, Coach Gattuso from Ramapo. Thank you for joining us. And then we were honored to have so many teams tonight. Weehawken and Coach Campy, Coach Luciano and his two players, PJ and Matt from Butler. And then we ended the hour of our teams with Coach Jones from Pompton and Vinny and Anthony. Thank you to all of them. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Good luck to everybody playing this week.
Jen, feel better. Keep getting back. Hopefully you're back next to her here. But Jack and Eli, again, you guys do a great job. Everybody, great show. Enjoy the games. We'll see you guys for a recap show on